Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Stay Fishy Friday.
Yeah, welcome to the live stream, folks.
All right. We didn't know what to call, the drinking word this week, so we're going to go ahead and give it to somebody that would really appreciate it. So I'm not going to let them choose it. I'm just going to say this week's drinking word is Tyler. How about that, Tyler Kerr? How about that?
We got our first super chat already.
Oh, yeah.
Creed. 100 second, whatever, it's Swedish. Doesn't make any difference. I'm finally awake for the
Thank you for the 100 sec, SEK.
Yeah.
I'm finally awake for the live stream. Greetings from Sweden. Love you guys. Keep up the hard work. Well, I appreciate that. I thank you.
What hard work.
And it's awesome you're up for this. I don't know what time it is in your place, but it's like 6 o'clock here. Oh, here's how you can see. If you want to know what that is, Jerry.
Well, there's apps for that.
No, right here in the bottom. See where it says chat revenue?
Oh, it's the only chat we've got so far.
Right. So 100
100
sec is $10.59. You can figure it out that way if you ever had the question.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let me move this up a little bit more so I can get this here. All right, there's what we want. Okay. Let me see. So we've got, we're up to 98 people, almost 100 already. It's amazing. Great. It was 5 till and we only had 20. I'm like, oh man, this ain't looking good. But happy Friday, everybody. Tyler. Okay, some news until we get into the Tracy update and the Josh update. Things been going on this week. Skylar, she got a hold of us yesterday and she sent me, I'm talking a novel of wording, and she was really nice and really sweet. So I don't know what's going on in her life, but she's being really happy and nice. So that's all good. She kept on texting me all night yesterday, and I kept on giving her oh, that's nice, or thumbs up, and she kept on sending novels after novels after novels. So either she was a day off where she had time to kill, or she actually misses us over here. So she's doing good. She's still working her 3 jobs, she said.
More like manic depression.
Well, you stop. Can't somebody just do something nice? She's still working her 3 jobs. She's still staying, at her mom and dad's house. A couple days at her dad's, couple days at her mom's. Actually, Brock was just here with 5 other interns. He's working at the White House now. And he brought over 5 interns from the White House that came home with him for the weekend. And they're going back actually tonight. They left here. He brought them over here to show them the fish and all that. And they all just left out of here. The funny thing is, one of them had to go back outside to the bathroom, out by the fish room. And, Jerry's like, one of their boys is still out there. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's Brock's friends. They're good. And besides, they're interns to the White House. I have to say it. I go, besides, they're interns at the White House. And Jerry goes, that makes me trust them even less now. It caught me off guard. I was like, holy shit. So they just left right before the live stream started. Let me see some of these here. Danny Davis says the fish room still looks amazing. Rich and Jerry.
Thank you.
Well, look who's saying 87 Tylers in a row.
Yeah. Right. Dang. Back at you.
Right back at you. No. Lorenz Cordot says my alarm went off at 00:00 o'clock. That's midnight. Oh, it's midnight there? Nice. You get to party all evening, and then you get to party with us. Piss Me Off? That's a great name. Pismehoff. Piss Me Off. I like that. Says, hello from New Brunswick, Canada. Can't wait till we can make another bike trip your way. and hit up Legacy this time too. Do you remember a bunch of bikers here?
Not particularly. It doesn't necessarily mean they're bikers.
They could have been here with cars last time or whatever,
Whatever.
or made a bike trip close by and didn't make it here.
I don't know.
Anything like that. Yeah, you're always more than welcome. Camel Dan, Skylar wants you rich. No, she don't. Stop it. I'm 60 years old. Come on now. Let me see. Crazy cichlids. Tyler. Here you go.
Now, what's on there? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. A little belated now, but I said it on your Facebook whip. Happy birthday. Cobra says Big Rich.
I remember him now on that gold wing. It came down. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's reminding us. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Cobra says, Big Rich, you still have the best mullet on YouTube. Well, who don't know that? Okay, I'm sorry for being conceited for a second. Someone's going to beat me soon. It's a matter of time. Because now, now that the mullet's back in style, someone's going to be there. Someone younger that can grow hair real fast. Dominic says, good day, Rich and Santa. Santa, can I sit on your lap?
Santa. No way, nobody's sitting out like that.
Oh yeah, pissed me off. Said you mentioned that.
Yeah.
It was him and his girlfriend on his gold wing. Spent the night in the dragon room. Nice. Oh, you got the prime treatment. The dragon room's only for like esteemed guests because it's got its own bathroom. I don't like you that much if I throw you in the other little room and you have to go out across the hall to go to the bathroom. Let me see. Passing. Rich Josh said on Facebook that he's going to put the breeding dovite in their own tank. Yeah. Well, see, everything that comes in, here's the big dilemma. We've got all the fish are settled. Everybody's getting along. Everything's good. And then we get a van load of fish from somebody that, closed down their whole pet store or something or whole fish room. And now we got to find room in all these, quarantine tanks to quarantine these fish. And sometimes we have to put fish right into, like if they're bigger, right into one of our tanks that are on the end of we have a loop through system where water's getting pumped over to this tank, the overflow of this tank goes to this tank, and then the overflow of this goes to the drain. That last tank, we can put fish in because it's never going to go upstream, contamination, but it can contaminate that tank. So the 2500 is the last one that's on its own, so we can quarantine in that, meaning if something goes wrong there, we can still maintain it and contain it and only treat 2500 gallons, not our whole system. The 750 is the last on line because water gets pumped over to the 2200 and then it overflows and goes to 750. So the 750 overflows and goes to the drain. So we can put things in the 750 if we need. So when a new fish comes in, it's by size, it's by aggression, it's by, territory, that kind of stuff. It's different every fish that comes in. So we got them 2 dovite and we got them in the 150 gallon. And I told Josh that 400 gallon, right above the 4,000 gallon, that would be a great tank for a standalone system for them. We can make a nice little cave in there that only she can fit in and he can't fit in. And then they can stay in there together and breed forever. And that would be nice, So that would give them a good, big enough home. In other words, we don't have to put them in the 4,400 with all these other giants. We can, like an Abba knife, when it comes in, it has to go in a tank by itself. So,
yeah.
Our Abba is at a 75 right now?
Yeah.
And he's 15, 16 inches long?
About 16, yeah.
16. So when he gets bigger, just like our electric eel, he's going to have to go in a tank by himself. And them are the hardest fish for us to take care of because they take up so much real estate and we can't use that tank for any other fish. For certain fish, like if we took in piranhas, we'd have to have a piranha tank. And it's just hard for us to do this. If it's you know like that 350, we put in red tails, giant gouramis, you know, Niger cats, you know, tinfoil barbs. I mean, we can put a bunch of different fish in with them. Oh, and somebody also said on one of the comments online about why we won't put one of the fly river turtles in the pool, and somebody answered it and said because the catfish will nibble on their flippers at night. And no, the catfish will not nibble on them. I had to dive into a pool before because this guy came over and, you know, he had a big fly river and I let him go in our sump that had a red tail in it. As soon as that fly river hit that sump, that red tail came up, swallowed his whole arm and was dragging him to the other side of the tank. I'm like, oh, and this poor little Asian guy was, get the turtle, get the turtle. I dived in there and I saved the turtle, got him out of the red tail's mouth. So I'll put the biggest fly rivers I got, which is Hubert, in the pool for daytime because the catfish don't really move around too much during the day and they don't go after them. But at nighttime, they're awake and they're alert and they're on the hunt, you know. And the fly river turtle's arms are very soft and meaty. You know, they're not hard and scaly at all. So I hope that answers that question. Crazy Cichlid says Tyler is our oldest son's name too. Well, tell him we're getting drunk because of him and his name now. See what else. Camel Dan says, I'd love to see an Oscar tank. Oscars are fish we can put in with many other fish. So we have a bunch of albino, a bunch of red, you know, a bunch of Crazy Cichlid says, Big Rich, what's your eBay name? My eBay name is Big Rich 545. It was a typo. It was supposed to be 540, the size of my motor. So everywhere I know it's Big Rich 540. But my eBay name is Big Rich 545. Oops. Well, that was back when, you know, Tracy, you know, started it and did all this. And, you know, I sold, you know, I think there's 5,000 sales on eBay right now or 5,000 feedback. And then I let Skylar use my eBay account the last couple months she was here. And she got me like 3 negative feedback out of, I had 5,000 positive feedback. Now I've got 3 negative. So they'll wear off in time, but I was just like, geez, you know. Do we have any Cory catfish from Fast Orange Hatch? No, we don't have no Cory
Not right now, no.
We do get them.
We do get them, but they're usually gone the next day.
Wolves Creed says, do you guys get less pacu than you did before, or are you just quick to rehome them? A lot of the pacu that came in are usually around a foot and a half, and we can still rehome them. We haven't gotten no big ones, you know, 30, 36 inches in a long time. So Big Betty and Paco were the last 2 of the red belly Paco or Pacu. We have the 2 Timberkey out there, the black Pacu. We have the albino.
We have one looking for a good home, but he's 22 to 24 inches.
Is he in the 350?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is still a Pacu that can be rehomed.
And he's free.
But how many did we got in the 20 or 3,000 gallon?
Just the 2.
No, we got the 2 blacks, and I know we got an albino. I think we got 4.
Okay, excuse me, 3.
I think there's 4 in there. I just don't remember what the other one is.
The 2 blacks and the albino are the only ones I can think of right off the bat.
Lorenz Cortez says, AJ, do you want me to get drunk? Yes, he does.
No, we had Tyler. I can't remember what the other athlete's name is.
Tyler Kerr.
Tyler Kerr, that's it. Yeah, he was the first one that started putting up all the emojis of drinks and puffs. So we just figured his name is the drinking word tonight. He must have it already figured out if he's flashing up that many already.
Wolf says, I'm glad to hear that. It means there's less people buying them, I guess, and less people that have you know, have them that big right now. I mean, we came in when there was no outlet. So for the last 7 years, we were their only outlet because, you know, public aquariums won't take them. You know, zoos don't take them no more. So, you know, we were their only outlet, and we've taken in a lot, and we've rehomed a lot. And, you know, there's a lot that we've rehomed that are going to come back to us here in the next year or two. When will OFR start shipping out adoptable fish, if ever? If we ever do it, it's only going to be on the smaller fish. I mean, it is so expensive and so hard. I don't want to risk losing a 3-foot fish because, you know, you got them in a styrofoam box in a big bag, and maybe they drop it and the styrofoam cracks, the bag rips open, the fish dies.
And you don't
It's
want
not
to pay
worth the
shipping on
trouble.
that much water either.
Yeah, and the shipping's going to be like $150 to $200 on a big fish like that. So we just will. I don't think we'll ever ship big fish. But, you know, smaller fish, we can do that. We do take in fish now from shipping. Like Rod helps us out a lot. Anybody around there that wants to donate stuff, and he'll set it up and he'll ship it to us. We pay the shipping. We go up to the airport, we pick it up. Our first thing is to get a airport account, and we can start shipping, but we just don't have the time. I need a whole area, another room where I have bags, I have, you know, oxygen, I have the tie clips, I have the boxes, you know, different kind of bags, like the felt line bags for the stuff with spiny, you know, pokey limbs and stuff like that. So I mean, we just don't have the room or the time or the money to do it. I mean, like right now, you know, the YouTube's making us like $2,000 a month. I'm still paying out of my pocket about, you know, $1,300 a month to keep this running. I mean, that was on me. I'm not bitching about it or complaining, but I mean, I'm not going to take on a new debt until the YouTube is paying for the rescue. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on today's video is like, oh, hire this girl, you know, get somebody hired in there, blah, blah, blah. I cannot afford that. I cannot.
Well, this channel used to make money, didn't it?
Well, when we had things like during the Shaquille days,
okay, yeah.
That month we
And
made
there was
$7,000.
There was you and Tracy and
Right.
Josh.
But
and-
see,
yeah.
for like 3 months we made, you know, 7,000. Then we made 5,000. Then we made 3,000. Now we go back to 2,000.
Reset their algorithm, right?
They reset their money paying out where we were getting, you know, like 3,500 a month, and when immediately the next month it was down to $2,000 a month, where I didn't change a thing. I didn't lose no, you know, people or nothing. So it's harder to make the money, but you know, it's just once we're up there and good, you know, let's say we're at 350,000 and we're making, you know, $3-4 a month. You know, I'll be much happier to, hey, you know what? It may be worth it for me to hire somebody to take the workload off me and help me out. You know, I'm able to talk and point out fish, and, you know, she did a good job videoing me and doing all that. And that's my videos. Josh won't want to, you know, hire nobody. So that's fine. I can do it, but not until I can afford it. I don't want to take on another debt right now. That's like, you know, you're paying all your bills and you're still $500 less each month, and you want to buy a new car. You ain't got the money. You know, you're going to be more in debt. I don't want this to keep being a burden to me. That's all. Camel Dan says, if I was single and had a room, I would be able to tape everything for you. See, I offered that to people, but, you know, that's the whole point. We don't want, you know, guys living here because of Tracy, and, you know, we're always changing her and this and that. And if the nurse don't close the curtain, you know, then Tracy's laying in there naked. So, you know, we try not running out to guys. So I offered the bedroom, the spare bedroom, to any woman. But see, then we got to limit it. I'm so tired of all the smokers here. I mean, when Jerry was here, and then, you know, we had Kathy here, and then anybody that visited, they'd go out back and smoke all day long. We're trying to middle of a project. Every 20 minutes, they got to take a smoke break and go out back. You know, it's just got aggravating. And then, you know, when they come into the house, you got 5 people that were just outside smoking, and the whole house stinks like cigarettes now, or weed, or whatever that they were smoking out back. You know, it's so, you know, now we only offer the spare room to a female that needs it and a non-smoker. If you want to help us around here, help us with Tracy, or help us with the fish room or, video, anything, whatever the reason is, I can give them free rent. I'm not, hurting anymore if I rent out that room, for help around here. But because of all the trouble we've had, we had guys here before that, got drunk and wanted to fight. And, I don't need that drama in my life. I've got enough problems here, that all that kind of stuff. So it's just, Joe Clem says, I miss a drinking word. It's Tyler. Mark P85 says, are you a family business, bud? Yeah, we are. It's me and my son had built this rescue together, and we started the YouTube to help us pay for it, because it grew bigger and bigger, and the larger the rescue grew, the more bills came in, electric, gas, food, medicines are ridiculous. So.
Oh, that's correct. Your name says it's a family hobby, not a business.
Right. Well, it is a business. It's an online business, basically. We're not making money at it, but it is a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. So it is a business. I just can't sit out here and put, a big sign out in the front yard, Ohio Fish Rescue, and charge like $20 a person to get in. Because now at that point, you're a business and you're running a business on residential zoned area.
Yeah.
So. We just put a suggested donation, $15-20 on the OCA weekend, and people did. They donated. We got what? I think it was $800 for the weekend.
I don't know. You kept track of that.
It was $350 the first day, and then it was like $270 the second day, and then we had a couple stragglers the third day.
Yeah.
It was like $800 we made off that, so that helped out.
Actually, we still picked up a $20 bill today from a guy called up and said, hey, I'm traveling through on the holidays and I just need to stop in. I said, come on.
So, Bob Taylor says a hobby on steroids. Exactly. That's what it is.
One guy today said on the tour, said that this is not a hobby. I'm not going to call it an obsession, but.
Matthew LeMay, or Matt LeMay, okay. So it didn't mean the big ones. I remember from my breeding days that, yes, shipping's costly. I just love if I put together a nice setup to have fish from OFR, probably just a 40 or a 55. Yeah, see, now we can do something like that and do that as a special thing. But as far as setting up every day, we're going to need supplies. We're going to need a room for the supplies. We don't have room out there. We're going to need to set it up where we grab a bag, grab a styrofoam box. Nope, not that size. Grab this size, and a stack of styrofoam boxes everywhere. We don't have that here. So yeah, it's just rough. But yeah,
and we're going to be selfish about it. We'd rather have the room for the fish.
Right. Wolf Creed says, I can't wait to win the lottery so I can pay for your new fish room, brother. I cross my fingers you win the lottery. Yeah, Camel Dan says it's a lifestyle, not a hobby. J Saddle Tramp says it's a way of life. Raheem says, I'm a non-smoker, non-drinker. Can I come down to USA? Of course you can, Raheem.
Yeah, that's up to you and the border security.
Jonathan Brown says, I need some cichlids from the pool.
Right.
You know what? That is a big thing.
If you can catch them, you can have them.
That's what I used to tell everybody. But if we put a big, minnow scene across there and then walk them down and get them all corralled, we can scoop in and get a bunch. I've talked to Josh about that, selling off cichlids. Let's say, them big cichlids, how much are they in the store? Like an OB.
Anywhere between 20 and 60.
So if we sell them for $5 to $10 a piece, people would love it because I got one out of that pool, I got 10 out of that pool, whatever. And we can sell it to them cheaper. And once I get this wall built under the new dog bone tank, once I get that wall built, we're going to have more babies than ever. Because right now, there's no place for them to hide. They're hiding in the cracks, they're hiding in the rocks and all that kind of stuff. Once I get them a wall built where the rocks are like 4 inches apart and then they're overlapping, just like the rocks in the Frontosa tank. And I can build a wall like that where all the cichlids can go back there and be safe. Have all the babies. And the babies can stay back there, and we're going to have a lot more cichlids. So we might as well make a profitable, reason for that. Plus, you guys can go and get like one of these beautiful OBs or something, for $5 or $10. Where in the store they're 30 to 50.
I've had a few too many of these already today, but Tyler, everybody. I'm imagining somebody showing off their cichlid tank and they're going, and this one's named O, and this one's named F, and this one's named R.
Oh shit. Harley Jem says, pretty sure many of us would share lottery winnings with OFR. Now, see, here's the thing. People look at it like, oh, Rich, he owns that house. He has that car. He has a hot rod. He has a motorcycle. He has his four-wheelers. And you act like, I'm rich. But see, this was years of working and buying stuff and horse trading and wheeling and dealing. I didn't just come here like last week and bought the house, the car, the motorcycle. I don't have money like that. I have a certain amount of fixed income coming in each month from the rentals that I have. And I'm spending, $1,000 to $15, $16 a month out of that income to help pay for the rescue, because it's something me and Josh built. So, other people are like, sell that car and you can build more of the. I'm not going to sell the car. I built that car with my son, Richie. It took 15 years of our lives, and it's a beautiful car. It's some next level shit. I'm leaving it to Richie, same with this house. Even if I sold it for, let's say, $1 million and I left, it would cost me more than that to move everything and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm just leaving this stuff to my kids, and that's that.
Become a cichlid dealer. Camel Dan, do you have any understanding of how many different cichlids there are to be a cichlid dealer?
He's serious though. As many cichlids as we have, we can become a cichlid dealer, but they're going to be specialty OFR cichlids.
Oh, okay.
OFR Amuna, OFR OBs,
Yeah,
OFR peacocks.
We tried that with shock koi. It didn't pay off either.
Nah, everybody got tired of them called shack koi. We sold off a bunch of the shack koi.
We did.
And we kept, I think,
people are proud of them. The ones
we
that
keep
got
like
hold of us.
20 or 30 of them.
Yeah.
And they're all in the Tracy pond now.
No, not all of them. No.
Where they at?
Well, we did slowly cycle them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we kept everything from shock. Everything out there to be orange.
Tyler Kerr says, I would love some cichlids. And Jerry, I would do that, whatever you said you were going to do. He says, I've named fish. Rich, Jerry, and Josh, they're my Cory cats.
Oh, no.
Don't tell me the fat one's named Rich. I'll kick your ass, Tyler.
Just call them the Over the Hill Rescue Crew, and we call it good.
That would be
Josh qualifies now.
Rich, Jerry, and Reaper. Is
No, Josh qualifies now with his ankles.
Oh, yeah.
At least short-term certification.
Joe Clam says, so who is Tyler? He's on here. If you scroll back in the messages, you'll see Tyler Kerr. He's somebody that's here every single week, and we thought it'd tickle him pink to be the drinking word to be called Tyler.
He said we made his week earlier.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, one of the comments.
Crazy Cichlid says Big Rich's eBay account. That would be Big Rich 545. I've made over 10,000 sales on eBay, and I haven't sold on eBay in like 5 years because this rescue's taken over. That's all I used to do. Me and Tracy go out to every single, garage sale, auction, and I just buy stuff. And my whole garage at the last place, I had a second garage, was just full of stuff. And I'd put it on eBay and, sell it. And I had, that's another income, I worked as a bouncer at night. I was in a band, 3 nights a week I played out. I had my own carpet company. Rich's Carpet. I laid down carpet at nighttime while the kids were sleeping. And I worked on cars in the evenings. I was that house where everybody hung out and there was always hot rods and stuff like that. I fixed the neighborhood kids' bikes or their go-karts or, people would come over. And like this one guy, I think he was like 67, and he had a 67 Camaro, but it was completely bone stock. It was not clean. It was not pretty, but you know, you open the thing and he's got a 2-barrel carb on there. And when he'd give it gas, it was like, so I leaned it out and I tuned it up for him. And that thing left there snappy as can be. He was just tickled pink, you know? So, I mean, I used to, that's just the way things were. I had many different avenues of income coming in, but you got to do that when you're young and not tired, you know? I used to hardly sleep, you know, 3 hours a night, and I'd just keep on going and keep on going. Jay Saddletramp says, do you guys make your own food? What do you feed all those fish? We do not make our own food. Right now, we get a lot of like different food coming in as donated. So anything sinking, pellets, we mix together in the cichlid food. I got a tub out there. We just pour everything in that big tub. Anything floating, every once in a while I'll throw some floating in with the cichlid food too. But we keep all the flake food together. Jerry feeds the smaller fish flake food, that kind of stuff. And then we get like mealworms and krill and all that kind of stuff. That's a second pile. Jerry feeds certain fish that kind of stuff. So we're trying to use up all the food we get in for free. But, you know, we still have to buy shrimp and tilapia. And then we still have to buy the Bar S brand turkey hot dogs. Because if you've got a 40-inch catfish, okay, let's say you got 8 of them. These catfish eat 4 to 5 pounds each every 2 days. So you got to throw in some filler for them. So throw in the hot dogs in there. The catfish gobble them up. Then we throw in the shrimp and the tilapia, and everybody else that isn't on the ground is, you know, able to eat. And then the catfish get whatever's left over. They'll come over and take a bite of the other stuff. So everybody gets a big thing. And you know, we went through hell with, why do you feed your fish hot dogs? Well, can you afford $5 a bag for every fish that you have that eats 5 pounds? I mean, wait, $5 a bag is for 1 pound of shrimp.
During the extravaganza, we based the $20 suggested donation on what it would cost us to buy a bag of mashua pellets or a big bag of shrimp for the fish.
Right.
So everybody that came in here for
all the donations that they gave went towards fish food. But it still didn't answer my question, but it's okay. $5 per bag of shrimp, and that's 1 pound, and that fish eats 4 to 5 pounds every 2 days. No one can afford that. I mean, I guess Shaq could, but I can't spend that money on them. So we have to buy the hot dogs at $1 a pack. They're Bar S brand turkey hot dogs. There's hardly any like oil and grease in them. Like if we feed them regular hot dogs, there'll be greasiness all over the place. But the turkey brand Bar S are $1.09 a pack, and they don't mess up the tanks. So we use them as filler.
Now you gotta wash the nitrates off of them.
Well, yeah, you always got to rinse them.
Yeah.
Frozen foods. Yeah, anytime we had somebody donate like 9 boxes of
Smelt. Please.
We
don't
didn't really
donate
like them. Well, no.
We'll take what we get, man.
No, listen. The problem was they had lost their electricity and their freezer went out, and this is why they donated to us. Well, they had thawed out and then refroze, and they stunk like hell.
Oh, they were bad.
And when we put them in the water, they floated. So it wasn't a good food. But we did use it all up, of course.
Right now, I'm chopping up them stripers for the monster pond.
All right, we're gonna have to stop for a minute because it's definitely Tracy update time.
Oh.
We went a little over. It's 6:35. So here, let me move this. This is my Tracy. See my little Tracy update thing right here. I can see her and her numbers. That's right here. Let me move the. There you go. Now I can see the time. My drink cup was covering that. So anyways, here's the problem. Everybody called off this week. Last week I was mad because they called off 3-4 days, whatever it was, and we lose them hours. They don't carry over to the next week and then we can use them up. Them hours are gone. No one's going to pay for them hours because they got used up. They got wasted. So this week, my daytime nurse calls off Thursday and Friday because of Thanksgiving. And then we found somebody to fill in Friday. And I'll get to that in a minute. And then she didn't show up today. And for tomorrow night, we don't have any. So we've got like 30 extra hours this week that's going to be wasted because Saturday night's the cutoff. Sunday's on to next week. So, you know, it's kind of like pissing me off. And, you know, everybody's taking all these days off. The problem is I'm their only backup. And it don't seem like they give a shit. I'm the backup, you know. So this week I did an extra. Last week I did an extra like 40 some hours on top of my 56 hours of watching Tracy, and that's without doing any community service. So I did like 96 hours last week. Just for the last 2 days, I did 32 hours straight without sleeping. And then my night nurse came in last night because nobody showed up Friday. And I had to watch Tracy from 3 o'clock on Thursday. No, nobody showed up on Thanksgiving Day either. I had to watch 3 o'clock the day before. So 24 hours at 3 o'clock the next day. And then from 3 to 11 was 8. So that come out to 32 hours. I had to stay up and watch until last night. My nurse came at 11. I went in and I got me 6 hours of sleep. And then today I wake up because my nurse was going to be late. So I had to sign out the night nurse at 7 o'clock this morning. So I get up, I do that. And then at noon, we get a call that my nurse ain't showing up at all. So I watched Tracy from 7 o'clock this morning until 11 o'clock at night. I think that's 16 hours. 7 to 7, and then 7 to 11 is 4, 12 and 4. Yeah, it's 16 hours. So I did 32 hours, got 6 hours sleep, and now I'm doing 16 hours. And then we don't know if we got a nurse for, you know, tomorrow night either. So it's just getting, I might have to switch, you know, nursing companies. I'm going to get a listing of other nursing companies.
It's got to be up to the company to cover that.
The company needs to cover that, not leave it on me.
Nah, that's true.
I'm getting 100, however many hours I get each week. And if the nursing don't use that, they get wasted.
Yeah.
And it hurts me to see 30 hours get thrown away that they're willing to pay and no nurses show up.
Send them a bill. If they're willing to pay.
Well, here's the thing.
I know you can't get paid for it.
No. If I get paid for it, they're willing to pay me. But then I don't need a RN or what's the other one?
LPN.
LPN, thank you. They're not going to pay them their wages. They'll pay me like $18 an hour to watch Tracy for that 100 hours or whatever it is they're willing to pay for. So, yeah, I can't do that. And that's even if I have them send an STNA, they're like, oh, well, if you can get by with an STNA, we don't need to pay the LPN and the RNs no more. So it's the LPNs and the RNs, or it's nothing. And they have to be trach, you know.
Certified.
Right, yeah. So, okay. Let me see here. Murray Dean says they don't give a shit. Primary caregivers are superheroes. Well, thank you. Dun, dun, dun. I feel like a superhero for a little slight second there, Marie. Thank you. Old Creek says, it hurts me to hear you struggling. You're a damn strong dude for what you do. Oh, well, thank you. Camel Dan says, Rich, have you ever thought of contacting hospice? They're not just for terminal patients. Here's the problem with hospice. I need a break, whatever. They won't let me do, can you take her for the weekend? You know, I can get by with letting a nursing home take care of her for the weekend because they can't really do too much damage in 2 days. But you got to remember, when she was in the nursing home, she got septic twice in like 6 months. She was in nursing home for 7 months before I got her home. She went septic twice. She got umpteen bed sores, you know, and them are full on, you know, call nurses, nursing staff, nursing everything in a nursing home. You know, she's been home for 4.5 years and not one bed sore. Not one time has she gone septic. Not one time has she's had to go to the hospital now, other than when she first came home, she came home sick and she had pneumonia. And it kept getting worse and kept getting worse. And I worked around the clock trying to, you know, cool her off, bring cool rags under her, getting, you know, ice bags wrapped under her body to cool her off so that she didn't have to go. And after 3 days, she had to go. It was her temperature got up to like 105 or something like that. And it was time. She had to go. But other than that, wasn't my fault. She came home sick. Since then, we have taken care of her, and it's not hard. If you just care about your patient, whoever it may be, whether it's your sister, your daughter, your mother, your father-in-law, whoever, if you just care, you want to, it's easy to feed them. It's easy to, change them. I got a schedule down. I don't know. But, yeah, the Marie Dean, the independent providers, they're there and they make more money because they don't have to pay a nursing staff, but they also don't have backup. And like if a nursing staff, like Maxim is supplying us now with nurses.
They're supposed to.
If a nurse don't show up, they have other nurses on call that they can call in. Supposed to. A independent provider, that was Mara. If you guys remember Mara, she did what she wanted. She handled things, and then she didn't show up whenever she wanted, and they paid her more because they didn't have to pay a nursing staff that would pay a nurse. You know what I'm saying? So independent isn't really the way to go. There are more people available, but I have a great Latrice is like number one nurse. Okay, we had Mara was the number one nurse, but she was crazy. And you remember her off hours escapades were insane. She was just it was too much. She lived here for 3 months because she was going through a domestic violence, and she pulled a gun on her boyfriend and all this other drama. Her boyfriend showed up here and he grabbed her and walked her around the car by her elbow and threw her in the car. So I went outside, I grabbed him by his elbow and jerked his ass back, and I yanked him around the car, I opened the door, and I threw him in there. I was like, how the fuck do you like it? And I'm like, just leave. And he starts getting mouthy in his car. He rolled the window up halfway, he starts getting mouthy. I'm like, dude, just leave. Just stop. You don't intimidate me, just fucking leave. He gets out to the street and moves down about 20 foot, and he gets out of his car. I'll fight you, I'll beat your ass. I'm like, dude, you're now funny. You're hilarious. You're stupid. You're making yourself look bad. Just go home. So it was all drama with Mara, but she was a great nurse in the daytime. There was Mara, and then we had Evelyn. Those two nurses, we referred to them as the dream team. They were great. They were great. But Evelyn left us after a year and a half or so, and she left us for a traveling nurse job, which they was paying like $95 an hour. I couldn't get mad at her. I couldn't blame her. I'd have done the same damn thing.
They got a hell of a nurse.
She made $35 an hour here. They're offering her 95. She had to take the job, so that's okay. So Mara stayed here for like another 6 months, but then she drank a lot, and
her drama spilled over into her job hours.
Big time. So here she ends up, having sex with one of the moderators that we have that were visiting here all the time, and they both hid it from me. I'm like, why would you hide that from me? Now I just feel I'm suspicious of you because you're lying to me and sneaking behind my back at my house. You didn't need to lie to me. I don't give a shit who you're having sex with, But she also turned out to be the girl that was being a hooker on her off time hours. I don't know if you guys remember that story. And she started coming in and telling us about, she had this what do you want to call them? Different guys. And she's telling me about this guy that paid $500 and she do him in a wheelchair. What? And I'm like, what the hell? So she was a hooker in her off hours, and then she had all that drama and clusterfuck of confusion constantly. That one day she showed up here, and I guess her ex-boyfriend, the one she pulled a gun on, was trying to take her nurse's license from her, and she showed up here, and she was loopy as hell, and she started accusing me of trying to take her nursing license from her, like I'm her ex-boyfriend or something. I think that's where she confused it. She actually thought I was him or something, because she started screaming, "Yeah, you're not taking my license from me. F you and this and that and F Tracy." And she slammed the door and left. I'm like, what the hell was that all about? I mean, she was just gone, like she was off in a daze, confused or something. I don't know. So I've never seen Mara since. But Evelyn came back. She's working another job now, but she needs extra money for holidays. And she was the one that came here on Wednesday and shadowed Latrice for 3 hours. And, you know, she was supposed to show up Friday. Well, Friday comes. She was the one that said she's going to be late. Then at noon, I get a call that she didn't get her car fixed. That it has to go to the dealer. She has no way in. She's not going to make it. So that was Evelyn. And Evelyn's a great nurse, you know, and she never gave me problems before not showing up. So I do believe it was her car, and it's a situation type thing. But Maxim should have had somebody to fill in, is all I'm saying. So, you know, dealing with all that kind of stuff, you know, now I've got the dream team. I've got Latrice for, you know, 5 days a week from 7 in the morning till 3. She's great. But she will call off every holiday and a day after, so she gets a long weekend. Can't really blame her for it, but, you know, you're screwing me. But she's a great nurse, and she takes really good care of Tracy, and she makes sure Tracy gets up out of bed every single day and sits in her chair and watches TV, and she gives Tracy baths. She's the best nurse now, period. And then we got our night nurse, Marion. She comes 4 days a week at 8 hours from 11 till 7 in the morning. And she really, really cares. She cares about Tracy. I mean, she cried when she found out that other nurse was actually abusing Tracy and, you know, yanking her hair and pulling her arms and, you know, slapping her and that kind of stuff. I mean, Marion cried when she saw that video.
Yeah,
So
Marion needs a little help herself, though. She's not
she's
physically
around my age, but she seems to be like in her 70s because she's hurting when she walks.
Yeah.
It hurts her to try and move Tracy. I mean, she's in pain. You know, I will give her that. And I didn't know how long she was going to last, but she saw my live stream and she's like, "I'm an elderly lady." I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've said that. I know you're my age, but you just, the way you walk, the way you're in pain, it just seems like you're a 70, 90-year-old lady, you know, and I felt bad for you that you were in pain." And I just simply said that I don't know how much longer she can do this, you know? And she assured me, she's like, "Rich, I'm not. As long as you want me here, I will be here." I'm like, "Okay, Marion, you're here." So we don't have to worry about that no more.
It reminds me when I first met Reaper and he called me a elderly gentleman. Him don't know me very well, do he?
Reaper came in with his camera and he's like, "And who's this elderly gentleman?" And what, Reaper's like 6 years under you or something?
Yeah, I'm putting fish away. I'm putting shrimp away in a freezer. And he comes up, "No, this elderly gentleman came to volunteer today. How long are you here for?" And I says, "Until Rich throws me out."
Anyway, let me finish answering the question. Have you ever thought about contacting hospice? So now, it's so hard for me to get good nurses, right? Hospice won't take her for a weekend where I would be like, okay. They're 7 days minimal. You can put her in there for 7 days. You can put her in there for a month. It's called respite for hospice. But here's the problem. If I put Tracy in there for 7 days because I need to go do a fish convention, I'm now taking all the nurses and telling them, "You're not working this week." They're going to find jobs elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I've never used the respite from hospice at all once because of this.
I'm sure there's other programs because each individual situation is different.
Yeah.
It requires different hours and different care.
OBG Foster said there is in-home hospice. I've never heard of this because I've inquired about hospice. I've called hospice companies. They never told me there's in-home hospice. That's what I need when the nurses don't show up.
Is he in the United States or is he in one of the?
I don't know.
A lot of the like Canada and a lot of those, they have government medical programs, shit like that.
Here, from what I understand, here hospice is a nursing home. They come and take her, and they'll keep her.
Yeah.
Got to be 7 days at the minimum. That's everything I found out so far. Camel Dan says, "Amanda gets a prostitute is called a John." Yeah, but she didn't call him John. Her client. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Her client last night was in a wheelchair. I'm like, "The hell? How do you do somebody in a wheelchair?" And she made me look stupid. Like, "Come on, Rich. They can move out of the wheelchair and go to a bed." I'm like, okay. I'm not up on the prostitutes. I've never had a prostitute. I've never paid for it. I don't know anything like that. As a matter of fact, one time I met a prostitute and we were drinking, and it was this one guy, Frank, was dating her, you know, and oh my God, it was crazy. I was like, I got interested because later I'm like, you know what? I've never had a prostitute, but what are the breakdowns? I mean, what costs what? I mean, how do you differentiate what's this and that? She goes, oh, well, this is this, and 50-50 is this, and this is that, and then this is that, and then there's this, and then if you want to shit in my mouth, it's $300. I'm like, whoa, what did you just say? And I looked at Frank, right? It was my buddy at the time. And I looked back at her. I'm like, what did you say? And she repeated it. And I'm like, Frank, I've seen you kiss her. It was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And that was enough to say, any interest I had in a prostitute, I don't want. Oh my God. That was so gross to me. Ned Asher says, always drama. Stop letting people live in house. Hey, I wouldn't have found Jerry if I did this. Jerry is a fucking gem to OFR.
Nobody else has a Jerry.
Right. You don't have a Jerry.
I'm a dogfish, man. I'm a rescue.
Oh my goodness. Wicked Gypsy says, we had a home hospice for my mom. I'm going to have to look into that because many people are mentioning it now. I need that. My great grandma in Ohio had hospice. Come to her house. I don't know who it was. I was 6. Okay.
Jerry's a gentle soul. Don't know me very well either. Of course, I am now, but yeah.
Wolf says there's nothing gentle about Jerry. You guys gotta understand, that's not Jerry. That's Beefcake Bob.
Beefcake Bob was a Halloween character.
Summerlee says, Rich's store was deactivated due to no, I can still sell. I don't have the storefront no more, but I can still sell on eBay. No problem. I can just go on there and put whatever I want on sale.
Could be as deactivated to non-activity.
All right. Regine said, I think that's respite care, not hospice. I thought hospice offered respite. But when I called, so we are covered in the waiver program, and it's covered by area of aging program or whatever. And I called them, and they're the ones that pay the nursing station or the nursing company that gives us nurses. So when I called them, they're like, there's nothing, it's 7 days, but they're the ones that told me the info that I got. Lawrence Cortos says, I'm watching OFR on my new 97-inch TV. I can even see Big Rich nose hair. No, you can't. I don't have no nose hair.
You got
no, I just got mustache.
He's got to check, yeah.
I checked. I'm not pulling nothing when I'm pulling like this. There's nothing there.
Summer Lace is
He says, I'll advise everybody get a smaller TV. You're not funny, Lorenz. Summerlee says, Laura, you did a beautiful job on the plants. Yes, she did.
Yeah, she did. Very nice.
Sue Ann says, I thought they were called tricks. Yeah, but I was looking for the word client. Tricks, giants, it's all that, but I was looking for the word client when I was trying to search for that word.
Does everybody keep changing their names on these things?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah. Lori did do a nice job. Got a little slow on the tours, and she just sat down and started trimming the elephant ears. By the time she got back up again, they were all looking sweet.
Lorenz says that was supposed to be crying with laughter. Yeah, you don't hear stuff like this in normal everyday lives. Nurses aren't hookers. Yes, they are.
They're legally not allowed to do that either.
No one's allowed to do that except for in Las Vegas.
Well, I mean, they're not supposed to be able. They can't accept like will. They said they're the people that they're nursing can't put them in
One
their
down.
will legally, things like that,
Yeah.
because they're caregivers.
Tyler Kerr says you're Reaper's dad, aka the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
That was the first name I gave him was Crypt Keeper. And then I gave him Beefcake Bob. Everybody seemed to love that one.
Actually, it was about the second week I was here that we came up with the Over the Hill Rescue Crew.
That was you come up with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Lorenz says yes. Jerry is Reaper's dad, and Skylar is the mother. Skylar is Reaper's mother.
Listen to a couple of super chats.
But to put Jerry together with Skylar, for one, you don't want to do that. They don't like each other. Not at all. Reem says Tyler. Go ahead.
Wicked Gypsy gives us $5. Hit that like button, y'all. Now, I hope they keep changing their names on these.
Yeah.
I don't know who's down there.
Hartley Gem says Rich gave out mod ships like Oprah one night. You get a mod.
Yeah,
You're a mod. You get to be a mod. Look under your seat. You're a mod.
I found the mod button. New toy.
Lorenz says, Jerry, come to the Netherlands and visit the red light district. If a person ants and they can sell their bodies.
I remember back in the 70s, that was one of my dream bucket lists.
Oh, you wanted to go see a hooker.
Not necessarily see a hooker, but just go spend a week or two in Amsterdam or in the.
Well, it's everybody's dream to be able to have a room full of women and go, you and you. You know, pick out what they want.
Okay, I've done it before. There's no
You've
big
done it
deal.
before?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's legal brothels in Nevada.
Right.
Okay.
But they're expensive as shit.
Well, it depends on how well you know the house.
Okay.
Okay. Betty and I were good friends. The Betty's D&D club. The D&D stands for Dine and Diddle.
I learn something new every day. Oh, OBG Foster, I can't repeat that. Wow. All right, while we're caught up on the
we got another super chat.
no, it's the same one. Oh no, it ain't.
No, it isn't. Saddle Trap, $4.99. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Looks like an old picture of Mr. Ed.
Marie Dean says,
Well,
I'm a nurse.
dating myself, I'm remembering Mr. Ed.
Right. Marie Dean says, I'm a nurse and I don't hook.
No, but you're very, most places are very restricted as to how much interaction they can have with outside of the nursing.
Yeah. Wolves Creek says, do any of the community service people continue to offer their time after their service is over? I can imagine it's easy to fall in love with the rescue. A lot do. I just got a call from one of our male community service that said, I know I'm done with my hours, but my wife's going here for the next 2 weeks and blah, 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 spend it with her family. I've got nothing to do. If you want, I can come stay at the rescue and put in my time for the next 2 weeks. And I haven't gotten back to him. I just got that message. That's how I met Skylar. Her and her boyfriend came here and they were volunteering. And then she broke up with her boyfriend. And then she was still volunteering once a week, but she was at her mom's house and her and her mom couldn't get along. So, I offered her one of the rooms here, and that's how she came here. She lived here for, I think it was 2 years, and then she went back to her mother's house, and her mother was like, oh my God, Rich, I got my little daughter back. Thank you so much. You taught her so much. I just taught her ethics and morals, and be good to people and that kind of stuff. And, her mother just loved it. So now, she's still at her mother's and blah, blah, blah. And last time I heard, she said, I'm going to be celibate. She don't want no man for some reason. Camel Dan says, hashtag Team Beefcake Bob. Sue Ann says, I thought Lori was Skylar's mom. In the sense that it's not her physical mom, but Lori, you know, Skylar was going fishing, Lori was fishing, they'd go fishing together. It was like Lori was her mom. She called her mom, you know, all that kind of stuff. But she's not a real mom, no. Lori can't stand her real mom. And now I had to block her real mom too. Hey, hey, hey. The people that wrecked their car, that was them. Gave them a place to stay for a couple days. It's been months now. You read that one?
Yeah, I think he's about ready to give himself time out there. Almost the Dutch spirit.
Okay, Harley Jem says, I took incoming calls and sent out girls for a madam for a while. $10 a call for me. So she got $10 for every call that she sent out.
All she did was answer the phone.
Right.
So it's almost the Dutch spirit.
Raheem says, in Asia, lots of small girls are kidnapped of their own or their own fathers sell them for money.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad. That's crazy. That's human trafficking, you know? But yeah, after Lori cleared out all the deadness and all that kind of stuff out of there, the other leaves just took off. Like in the next 3 days, it was all green and growing good and sticking up high and strong, and you know, they weren't soft and falling over. Mandy Davis said, my partner and I worked in a nursing home. That's how we met, together 32 years. Now, see, I like good stories like that.
Everybody's got a story.
Yeah, well, tell good stories like that. Stop talking about prostitution.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's move on to the Josh update. You know, you've seen him on his feet. He's still getting around a lot, but you know, he's worked so hard and trying to do things that his ankles hurt so bad. He was home and he had to elevate them, you know, and this and that. He had to soak them in Epsom salt. It was rough for him, you know. So he's learned to take it a little bit easier than he thought he could do. Like he came by here the other day for what, 20 minutes?
I was down last night when he came, so if you're talking about the other day, yeah.
He came last night?
Well, somebody came in last night, put that pipe back on, and
That was Josh.
took care
He
of
showed up, put that pipe back on, took care of the turtle, and then left. So it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not up to par by any means yet, but he's trying. So I mean, give him time. Time to heal is all he needs. You know, nobody can blame him. He's got 2 broken ankles that had to have surgery on each ankle and put pins and plates in there. And the doctor said his one ankle looked like damn sawdust. So you got to remember when he got hit by that car, you know, his daughter got knocked out of his arms, and you know, she's over there screaming. He gets up and runs to her. He didn't know he had 2 broken ankles. He didn't feel nothing at that time. So Camel Dan says, so Josh is going to start listening to his dad? I doubt it. I doubt it. I'd love to say, yes, he is. I doubt it. But, you know, he means well, and he's a good kid. So, you know, he tries. And with effort, you can get anything accomplished, period. I mean, with no effort, you're never going to fix nothing. So he has at least effort to fix everything and try and make everything work, you know, and that's what it takes. Back is killing me.
Actually, it's convenient that he's an engineer because he can figure out the leverage and stuff on that.
Well, not only that,
I taught him having to do.
Yeah, but I taught him for years, going, you know, we're fixing cars, I'm buying rentals and remodeling it, and we ripped down. He learned how to do drywall at a young age. He learned how to do plumbing, how to put in water heaters. I mean, he's a jack of all trades because of everything that I've taught him all his life.
Yeah.
So being an engineer just came naturally to him. Camel Dan says, Rich, how you doing on your weight loss journey? Well, okay, remember I made it down to 279. And then Sue Ann showed up. And Maritza and it was a cooking all weekend type thing, and I sampled. I went back up to like 285. So it's taken me from the time they've left to now. Just today I reached 279 again. And then tomorrow is our Thanksgiving. If you guys understand this, let me explain it. I got Joshy and his wife. They went to her parents' house. And then I've got Richie and his wife went to her parents' house. So tomorrow is the day that everyone's supposed to show up here and cooking. I've been cooking all day. I made, I think it was, what's that, 20, 40, 60 deviled eggs. And then I made pecan pie. And then I made a pumpkin pie. And I've got all the other fixings all laid out for tomorrow. At what time I got to throw on what and get it. I've got it all lined up so that at 3 o'clock we can eat dinner. Richie wants to come over and get out all of our Christmas decorations because I haven't set up a tree the whole time Jerry's been here, almost 3 years now. I haven't set it up since Tracy's gone down. But they want to set it up for the grandkids and do all that. So we're going to go down and get out all the Christmas decorations tomorrow and set up the tree and the train and all that kind of stuff and get it going. And I might eat, some tomorrow. I'll try not to stray much, but it's going to take me 3 days after tomorrow to get back onto ketosis. So tomorrow's Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'll start losing weight again on Tuesday. I won't eat Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. But to get back into ketosis where I lose weight a lot, it won't be until Tuesday. So like say next Friday, I should be down to like 275. Even if I gain, let's say 2 pounds tomorrow, I should be at 275 next Friday. So Ann says, sorry for what's about to happen. What does that mean? Uh-oh, she's scaring me.
And then she blows smoke and a drink at us, so.
She's scaring me. That woman's capable of a lot of things.
Some of they say she wish she could. That's not bad.
Jake Cook says, hey, I subbed you ages ago and you randomly pop up in my feed. So glad to see you still smiling, man. You're a real one. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Right.
Summer Lee says, I've lost 10 pounds in 10 days. Not intentionally. Well, that's a good thing, though.
Which part did you cut off?
I once lost 112 pounds in 1 day when Skyler moved out.
I'd rather that's excess baggage. But I got enough baggage of my own. I don't need anybody else's.
Contrast New York said, did you have your buffet warmer stands out for Thanksgiving? No, but they're set up for tomorrow. I didn't have no Thanksgiving here. I had no nurse, so I had to watch Tracy all day. And then they called off Friday, too. I had to watch Tracy all day. And I didn't have a nurse for that night. So I worked 32 hours straight. I got 6 hours sleep. And then I had to do 16 hours today. So my buffet warmer is plugged in and ready to go for tomorrow. I've got all my cookers out and my food warmers. I got everything ready. I've got 10 people going to be here tomorrow. So
Right there with you, Bob Taylor. Been 420 for several hours now, too. Tyler, everybody. Tyler says he's the one to be weird saying like me.
yeah, he's the only one that can go me. It's Tyler.
We set you up for that one without even realizing. I like that.
Oh shit! Ross Dingle said he was trying to get fit and lose some weight, and he fell off a mountain bike and broke his arm. Holy shit!
That'll slow you down a little bit.
Oh yeah. Kay Cook says, "What we drinking tonight?" I've got vodka mixed with grape crush and then filled up with water, so I'm hydrating while I'm drinking. He's got.
I got Coca-Cola and a vape pen.
There you go. Wow. Okay. Loren says, "Well, Big Rich, don't get scared. Sue Ann as Santa Claus's wife, Jerry as Santa Claus. I think I know somebody that would have a problem with that."
Yeah, he says what could go wrong? A depth charge could go wrong.
Deb Charge is definitely going to have something to say about that. The bed is too small where Santa Claus and his wife sleeps. Jerry, good luck. I don't think you'll ever make it to the bed. Deb Charge would be there.
Lorenz Court thought, whatever, whatever you want to call that. He's pretty damning about me getting over to the Netherlands, isn't he?
Yeah, buddy. Sue Ann says, I ended up cooking an impromptu dinner at home yesterday because my father-in-law was at the hospital having emergency surgery. Oh, that's nice, and that's great, you know.
Reaper was describing what he was cooking for the family yesterday. I just about threw something at him. Damn you. Boy, he puts on a feast, man. He's going to show off for Brother John yesterday.
Harley Jem says, all that prep and cooking plus regular OFR stuff and extra Tracy time. You're a Superman, Rich. Well, thank you for thinking that, but no, I'm not. Just normal. Camel Dan says, are you having turkey and ham or just turkey or just ham tomorrow? We've got honey baked ham and roasted turkey is going to be tomorrow. We've got candied yams, mashed potatoes, corn, gravy, stuffing. We've got the King's Hawaiian buns for Fred. We've got glazed carrots with honey glazed carrots. Josh is bringing over mac and cheese and cheesecake. I made pecan pie and pumpkin pie, and then I make my own homemade whipped cream topping. I take. You guys are going to want to follow this. You want to try this if you haven't done it. Take heavy whipping cream, put like 2 cups in a bowl, and then add a cup of powdered sugar and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix that up with a hand mixer until it comes up into whipped cream. It'll come up into stiff peaks. And it's the best whipped cream you've ever tasted in your life. It's so good. And what else we got? Richie's bringing some dishes that I don't know yet. I don't know what they're bringing. I think that's about pretty much everything. And then I mentioned candied yams. I'm making them.
Yeah.
That's just yams with brown sugar with marshmallows on top.
My ex's family is Dutch, and they make with this. They call them canadels or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's like a little ball of stuffing, spice stuffing, and they deep fry them. Oh my God, the women would spend like 2 days making this stuff, letting it rise, making the balls, cooking them. Oh my God, it's so good.
Okay, Cook says start with heavy cream. He knows. If you know, you know. If you're not, learn it. It's so good. Camel Dan says, do you see your other son, Rich, the oldest, much? No. He lives like 5 hours away, so we don't see him much. Comes up for some holidays. But yeah, I don't know what Rich is bringing tomorrow, so he's going to be here. But the thing is they want to get out the the Christmas decorations. You know, I have decorations from my grandmother gave me when I was younger, 50 years ago. So, I mean, I've got decorations every year. I used to take, Tracy and the kids up the store, and you can pick out, one thing of decorations, one year it was all white ribbons with red bow tie in the middle. And it was like, I don't know, 20 of them. And we did the tree up like that, Another year it was like red decorations. Another year it was blue. And, you get like 30 decorations for $10 or something. Every year we get to add to this. Excuse me. We don't really put up the 50-year-old decorations anymore, but I show them every year. I show them off because there's like, they're hard plastic. They got big, heavy hooks on them. And then you put them above one of the big 2-inch bulbs, which used to put off heat on your Christmas tree. And then the heat would rise and it would make the propeller spin in there. And I thought it was the coolest thing. It's like magic, Joanna Nello says, I think Jerry needs to go to bed. He always looks like that. Sue Ann says, are you putting up creepy Santa this year? You mean the Santa that Tracy danced with that's the same height as Tracy? Yes, of course we are. Creepy Santa rules. And when I turn him on, every time you walk by him, he starts dancing and boogieing.
You gotta teach him to use a hula hoop.
X Wolf says, Jerry's just vibing in the clouds.
I guess so.
See, this whole time, she's still at 98. She's doing great. She's so easy to take care of to me. I don't understand why all these nurses complain. It's so easy if you care. Oh, and that's another thing. Let's go back to the Tracy thing. We had a nurse, man. Remember Carol? I kept telling you guys, she was as bad. Robin is the nurse that we had to, escort out of here. I videoed her for 11 minutes, and on that 11 minutes, there was 5 minutes of abuse onto Tracy. Because we kept seeing bruises, and her middle finger was broken. It was all bruised on her back of her hand and on her palm of her hand. We're like, how did this happen? It was her shift. She goes, oh, I didn't even see that. I don't know. So I recorded her the next day. And you guys remember this. In that 11 minutes of recording, I saw her grab Tracy by the hair, jerk her head over. And then, she was on the other side. She grabbed Tracy's arm and jerked her arm and made her move this way. And then she slapped the shit out of Tracy. And I went running out there. I'm 11 minutes in and I start to check it. And I went running out there. And I made her leave my house right then and there. I called Maxim. This nurse is, abusing Tracy and blah, blah. They came out here and they fired her. Well, because she was the worst nurse we had, she was horrible. She was lazy. She was just lazy. She was not a good nurse. And then we found out she was, mistreating Tracy. I want to say abusing. I want to say beating, okay? Because she was here for a year, and I only recorded for 11 minutes and found those 5 minutes of abuse. What the fuck happened the whole rest of the year? All them marks and bruises we kept seeing. You know what I'm saying? So she was abusing her for a while. So anyways, we got rid of her. Her name was Robin. Now, this girl, Carol, she comes in and acts the same way. Every nurse that comes here after Carol's shift is like, what the hell happened? Why is this place such a mess? Why is Tracy so messed up? The next nurse would come in and Tracy's laying down and her head's like this because the bed, here's the bed, and then here's the rest of the bed. And the bed bends up like 30% like this, right? The rest of the bed is, 6 foot long. Well, Tracy would slide down this whole thing and only her head would be up here and she'd be flat, which is not what she needs. Her trach is here. Her midsection needs to be 30% up, right? For drainage, and all that kind of stuff. Well, she'd slide down and she'd only have her head up like this and the rest of her body's all flat. So all these other nurses hated Carol, right? And I was going to fire Carol last Wednesday, but then I got notified that my day nurse is taking off Thursday and Friday, and we don't have anybody for Saturday because my weekend nurse was taking off that day, or she was taking off both days. So I was like, okay, come Monday, I'll fire Carol. And then it was she never came in again, so I couldn't fire her. But the last time she was here, I had to yell at her. And I'm telling her, I'm like, this is not, don't do this. Look at how bad this is. Do you think she looks comfortable to you? You can do that better than this. You are a nurse. You can be better. You know, I'm like, I'm just some guy and I take care of her better than you do. You're a nurse. You're getting paid $35 an hour. Why can't you take care? I mean, I yelled at her. I put her in her place. And she hasn't been back since. But I get a call yesterday saying that, we called her Blobbin because all the nurses called her this because, you know, she's a black lady, which is no big deal, but she's a black lady and she acts like Robin. So we all called her Blobbin. You know what I'm saying? That was her name. So we all knew who we were talking about. Anyways, I was going to fire her the next day she showed up. And then, you know, I get a call yesterday that she won't be returning. And I think that's because I yelled at her, you know, but I mean, she needed yelled at. I mean, come on, you're better than this. You can be better. And Sue Ann says, answer the door.
It's usually
you guys bought food or something. You guys got to stop doing that. I feel so bad every time. But thank you. But anyways, so I'm like, so I tell Maxim, I'm like, you know, I was going to fire her, you know, Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, why? I'm like, she's the worst nurse we got. I've told you guys this umpteen times. I was working with her. I'm trying to teach her how to be. I'm not an RN. She's an LPN. I need to be an RPN to teach her anything, or a doctor. No, she's an LPN, and I'm over here just some schmuck teaching you how to be a nurse. You know what I'm saying? I was like, she was horrible. Her attitude was horrible. She's clusterfuck of confusion. She had like, you know, 2 pillows under Tracy's arm over here and 3 pillows over here. Tracy's all leaned down. Her head's bent up. She was never taken well care of. Like, I can say that about all the other nurses. They care and they take care of Tracy. So I was so mad that I didn't get to fire her that she quit before I fired her. I was mad. I was mad.
All right. Now, how does Sue Ann know that there is a nurse at the door?
There's a nurse here?
When we don't.
It's what? 7:23? What nurse is here?
I don't know. Go see yourself. I can take care of it.
I can see Tracy's whole room. There's no nurse there.
Not yet. She's taking the boots off.
Oh, is she?
It's snowing outside.
Who is it? Is it Beatrice, the lady from South Africa that sounds like a island?
I couldn't honestly tell you.
But she got big puffy hair.
Yeah.
That's Beatrice.
Okay.
She's a very nice lady.
Oh yeah, I know she's a nice lady, but I didn't get a chance to talk to her out there.
Okay. Sue Ann, how the hell did you know? She's tied into my
question.
She's tied into my front doorbell.
Didn't. She said she didn't.
Bullshit. You said answer the door. You said answer the door. You can't deny it now. Sue Ann says answer the door.
Uh-oh, Camel Dan just stuck his foot in his mouth, man. Now he's mentioned Roman burgers.
That was last week. Sue Ann said that, yes, for sure. But Sue Ann, how did you know for us to answer the door? Don't say you didn't. You know, she tied into my front doorbell ring while she was here. Is what happened. Yeah. She's creeping. She's creeping. Sue Ann's creeping.
Oh, somebody called her an empath. Good luck with that.
No, Sue Ann. She goes, I know what the ring sounds like. I didn't hear no ring. I didn't hear no ring. We didn't hear no ring. Sue Ann, you're busted. You have my Ring doorbell on your phone and you're still creeping on us. Cook says, hardcore OFR fan. Of course, she's like family.
Well, yeah, she's like family.
Now, Camel Dan's lying for her. I heard it. We didn't hear it. Wait, let me see if I even got a notification because that would tell us. Oh, she's there. Yeah, that's Beatrice. Hi, Beatrice. Tracy's doing great. She was just changed at like 6 o'clock. All right, let me see. Let me go to Ring doorbell.
No, I was about ready to chew her out for ordering this food again. But it's only a little chewing because I definitely appreciate it when she opens.
Yeah, the last thing at the front door is 7:14. So, yeah, nobody could hear it because it didn't ring.
I opened the door.
Paul Swick says, I heard the doorbell.
I opened the door looking for food. Lucky you didn't get bit.
Camel Dan says, I heard it. I heard a bing.
How much have you had to smoke tonight, Camel?
Right. There's nothing wrong with my hearing. I can hear everything just fine.
Well, let's put it this way. I think he's holding his own with me. While he's accusing me of being.
I think they're all trying to stick up for Sue Ann because she's not creeping, but yes, she is. She's got my front doorbell hooked up to her phone. Love you, Sue Ann. If you guys don't know, I'm kidding with Sue Ann. Love her to death. She's family. Tyler Kerr says, for real, I don't know her or Deb Charge personally, but they are both the shit. Sorry for the swearing. OBG Foster says, now nobody will send you food after what you said. No, we just feel bad because we're not starving over here. Look at me, And then, Jerry likes food, of course, but, we don't need our people sending us food. You want to send us fish food, that's great. I just don't. I feel bad every time somebody buys us food, and I guess it makes people feel good to do that and thank you and all that kind of stuff. But I just feel bad because I don't need food.
I really feel bad when I feel like they think I'm asking for it.
Right.
I'm not asking anybody to, but I am.
I mean, every gift is greatly appreciated. Either. Don't think that.
I am not turning it down.
He'll never turn down food. Jerry will go to the kitchen. He'll make himself some oatmeal and some toast, and he'll sit down, and I'll come in and start cooking breakfast and eggs, or eggs and bacon or something. He'll be like, what you got going on over there? And he'll put his oatmeal away for later. He'll put his toast away in a bag, and he'll be like, can I have some? He just wants what's new, what he don't have, OG Foster, don't think that. Nobody will send food after what you said. I didn't mean to be mean in any way, shape, or form. I'm sorry.
Oh,
no. Lorenz says, Tyler, stop reacting. Every time I see your name, I have to drink. That's funny.
That's because all you have to do is say me.
We always enjoy everything, Sue Ann. Thank you so much for everything you've done. So stop it. Oh, we got another lake effect snow warning. What do we got, like 3 inches out there now?
I'm close. Drifting around the doors and stuff, yeah. My son got snowed in for Thanksgiving up in Lake Superior, up in northern.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, all these high winds have taken all the water from Lake Erie and moved it away from all on the east side, on building up on the west side, and we're getting bombarded with pictures of boats sitting at docks where there's no water and they're sitting in the mud. All these boats are sitting, and the dock is like up here, the boat's down here in the mud. I mean, all these winds have pushed all the water way west. And because of that, and then, Lake Erie, the winds are coming this way, and Lake Erie's like along this way, the wind pushes onto the ground and makes lake effect snow. So like up in Menor, Paynesville, and all that, all the cities, it gets like, if we get 3 inches here, they get 1.5 feet over there. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, the one summer I took the kids vacation up to Lake Superior, and we got hit with a big storm. It was just magnificent watching Lake Superior in a big storm. And then my son goes up there with his girlfriend, and they get stuck in the same situation, get themselves snowed in. The pictures he sent me of the waves breaking on Lake Superior looked like just the opposite of what Rich was showing me with the lake out here with no water.
He's in the area where it's all water.
Like
it's
17-foot waves banging on the dock and stuff.
OBG Fawcett says, I'll send food to Skylar instead if I can find a place that sells fried grasshoppers and crickets.
Oh, God.
That's funny as shit.
Remember when she was eating all that weird shit?
Yeah.
She asked me
Her
straight.
mother called me and said, please stop doing that. I don't want to see my daughter doing all this crazy stuff. I'm like, but she likes it. She loves the attention, you know? And her mother didn't like it.
Skylar asked me, we were standing in the kitchen, and she says, what can I do to make people like me more? And I says, quit making an ass out of yourself on purpose for attention. Oh, she did not like that answer at all.
She, you know, what girl don't like attention? I mean, you gotta not be mad at her.
I'm mad at her. I just got.
You're not mad at her. You just don't like her. It's
not even a matter of like. There's not enough there to like or dislike.
Stop it, Jerry. Stop it. She means well. She's a good girl. You leave her be.
I mean, in order to dislike somebody, you actually have to be able to like them a little bit to begin with. And it ain't there. So,
I didn't know Beatrice was coming tonight. That's such a pleasant surprise. And it's what, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. She can work 3.5 hours because
double checking that
the night nurse is coming at 11.
The nursing service got you some backup. Maybe.
Let me read what the nursing service said to me earlier today.
Never mind. Rosanna. Never mind.
Okay, she goes,
You shit out of luck because it's the holidays, right?
hey, Rick, haven't found anybody to come out today or tomorrow because my nurse didn't show up today. So they said, I haven't found anybody to come out today or tomorrow night yet. I have messages out to all of our trach nurses who can come. I will keep you posted.
I want to see proof of her actually looking.
And that was it. And then, you know, Beatrice shows up and I wasn't informed she's coming.
Nice, yeah.
I mean, I appreciate it for sure. John Sawacki says, whatever happened to the bird you had? I think you're talking about the cockatoo.
The cockatoo, they must be.
Yeah, we found a home for it. He was very loud, very obstructing, and he bit everybody.
Say asshole.
You stop it. Jenny says, did you say both of them nurses are African American? No. Beatrice is from South Africa, but she sounds to me like she's from like the islands or something. She's got a very thick accent.
Yeah. Very
nice lady, but it's hard to understand her sometimes. And then the other lady is, you know, African American. But she was just very lazy and, you know, she's clustered. She brought the whole, she'd come in and take care of Tracy, and then Tracy would just be so in such disarray that it was easier for me to watch Tracy without Carol being there, or I have to come in and take care of Carol's messes all the time and get Tracy back up to being normal. You know, it was easier for me to take care of Tracy without Carol being there. That's why I was going to fire her.
Oh.
Beatrice, she's a sweetheart. She's a great girl. Wolves Creed says, nurses till morning. Big Rich going to need more vodka. I wish, but no, I got to be able to get up and not be hungover tomorrow. I got a lot of cooking to do, you know. So.
Oh, you don't want to spoil the food.
Now, tomorrow is our Thanksgiving here because I let my kids go to their better half's family for Thanksgiving. Harley Jem says, after hours would be great, but I understand if Rich wants to sleep.
I can turn that scoop box off now.
Oh, yeah, I can turn this off. Beatrice is here. I don't have to watch this. There we go. Okay, now I got my Tracy thing is off. I love this little thing. It's a Samsung 10, something like that, tablet. And it does its job so well. I love it. Vasquez family says, how was the OCA crowd? Oh my God, we had so many people here and so many, you know, tours, and it was so fun, and everybody just loved the place. And, you know, they're here every year, so they see it year by year. So the people that were here last year saw it this year and they're like, oh my God, it's so different. You know, we got the 2 new tanks in. We got the 540 in. That's 3 new tanks. We got the 750 turned sideways. So that's like 4 new tanks to them.
It's a never.
Oh, we got the dog bone in the
never-ending
pool.
drama.
It's a never-ending, upgrade.
Now, he doesn't want to use the word drama, but it's a never-ending.
Well, it is. It's like a soap opera. You gotta tune in.
Yeah, man. Well, it's kind of like a farm. I mean, you got to be out there to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. Yes, weed is legal.
Kay Cook says, so glad the
Get
tech
tired of
helps
being
you.
asked.
I don't know what that means. I don't have a tech. Camel Dan says, is there any animal that you would rather not have at the rescue? Yeah, a Siberian husky that wants to bite everybody.
Oh, he didn't want to bite everybody.
No, just everybody that walked in his cage.
Oh
He
no!
bit Kathy.
Oh, that wasn't a Siberian husky. It was a Spitz.
I don't know what a Spitz is. It was a husky.
That little white fluffy thing. It's not
Yeah.
a husky.
It was a husky. It had blue
I'm
eyes.
not going to argue with you about it. It's pointless.
All right, that right there is attitude and
No,
disrespectful.
it wasn't intended as
I'm
attitude.
gonna show you.
Rich, honest, there was no
Husky.
attitude intended.
He looked exactly like that.
That was the husky that was in the living room. He wasn't biting people.
No, no. That dog in the backyard was a husky. It had a more white skin, but he had the blue eyes.
That's a Spitz.
All right, I'm gonna look up Spitz now. Spitz, go. Spitz breeds. Meet these beautiful wolf-like dogs. He was definitely not wolf-like. He looked exactly like a husky. I've got pictures of him. I'll show you.
Well, husky looks like a wolf too.
No way.
They would describe a husky as wolf-like.
No, he was not like that at all.
Now you're showing me huskies.
Them are Spitz. Look above it. It says Spitz. Look, I don't want to argue with you. It's no point in it. See,
Oh, yeah,
doesn't that seem
That
dismissive?
wasn't attitude. That wasn't dismissive. There's no way we can prove it one way or the other.
Yeah, I got a picture of him. I'll bring it up later. I can't find it right now. I don't know where it's at, but I'll find it.
The dog was one of those little fluffy.
He was a
pure
piece of
white-
shit dog that
piece of
wanted to
shit.
bite everybody,
Oh,
and no matter what we did, it was, yeah. We fed him for like a week and tried to, calm him down and be comfortable with them. And Kathy would go in there and she got to where she could pet him. And then like the 4th day after being able to pet him, and she'd sit in there for an hour with him and she'd pet this dog. The 4th day, she goes in there and she says hi, and he jumps up on her and she pets him, and then he puts her down, and then she sits next to him and he latched onto her hand and just started,
I had to drag her out of there literally almost by her hair.
Yeah, it was crazy.
With my foot on the dog and over to hold it back.
Yeah, he was very vocal. He howled a lot, and he
Oh,
just
God, yeah.
see he howled a lot. You remember that? Yeah, he was definitely a husky.
He was a big pain.
He could have been mixed with a chow. He had husky, but it was a thick fur. That may be. John Zawaki says, is weed legal there? Yes, it is. It kills me because there's so many people still in jail for selling weed or being caught with weed, and now it's legal.
They just don't have their stuff together yet. Minimum tank size.
Oh, OBG Foster says Japanese Spitz is white with blue eyes. But I've never heard Spitz until right now. Even when I had him them whole 3 months, nobody said Spitz.
I've never seen a Spitz that looked had that kind of color. And every Spitz I've ever seen has been white. With that real white, long, like a Samoyed, only smaller.
Probably says Malamute Husky has super thick coats. He was given to us with Husky. He had papers too. Remember that? He
The
had paperwork.
husky was nice. I mean, he was asking to be trained. He was looking for somebody to bond with, and smart as a whip. We just couldn't find a proper home for him. In no condition to take on training a husky.
John Zwicki says, do you have rays in the big pond? No, we do not.
No.
They constantly drop their barbs, and we don't want to be walking through there and step on a barb. I have a bunch in my bedroom, and one day there was I folded towels and put them on top of my dresser, but I have that whole picture frame full of all these barbs there, right? That when I took the towel and I went to put it where it belongs, I guess I dropped like 3 barbs on the floor, and then later that day I walked and it stabbed me in the foot. You know, it hit the carpet, it stood up, and my foot was coming this way, and it went right under my foot. I was so sore for like 2 weeks. It was ridiculous.
And that's a dry barb. That's just
Okay,
what
here's the thing. We took that dog, and we were like, you know, the first day we got it, I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where to put it. We're going to find it at home, you know, of course, this and that. I took it downstairs in the basement and put it in the bathroom. And I put a blanket in there for him. I put some food in there and water and stuff. And I closed the door. When we woke up, that dog wasn't in that bathroom. He had clawed a hole in the bottom of the door and then busted through the other side where the skin lifted up and then went back down, and it looked like nothing was wrong with the door until you open the door and it's missing all of its innards, the whole bottom. It was crazy. Jenny Dory says, I would love a stingray barb or two to make into a necklace. Do you think you could send me some
Not a
if
good
I gave
idea.
you a pre-posted envelope? Of course I could do that, but that was our thoughts. I've been saving them for like 2 years now, and I've got like 40 or 50 of them. I've been saving them so that we can, you know, do something and put them up for sale. You know, $5 a piece. You can have one of the OFR stingray barbs, you know, type stuff. But I mean, if you want it now and you can do it, send me a self-addressed stamp. I'll send you a couple. OG boss, it says Reaper doesn't want rays in the pool. You guys gotta remember, yes, Reaper did get hit by a ray, but it was Reaper's fault. And I'm not saying nothing bad about Reaper. I told him to slide his feet towards the rays and they will move out of the way. And I've never been hit by any of my rays. I do it all the time. I get in with them all the time, and I just slide my feet. They feel me, and then they just move, right? I'm not a threat to them. Reaper held his feet wider and slid towards the corner and trapped this stingray in the corner. I'm like, dude, what did you expect was going to happen? I mean, you scared it, and you kept on coming closer to it, you know? If I saw a corner right there, I would turn from the corner and go this way and turn towards the corner, and he would move away. That's how rays are. As long as they're not in danger, they'll just move away from you. And Reaper kind of trapped him into the corner. So he had to, you know, he felt threatened and he had to lash out. Jenny, you ain't got to send us nothing. I'll definitely send you one if you, or a couple if you want. We haven't got around to it, but that's why I've been saving them, was to do something later.
They're too brittle, really, to use as necklaces without support behind them.
I don't think so. They're strong as
They
fuck,
break
Jerry.
pretty easy.
No. I kicked one in the carpet and it stabbed into me and didn't break at all. I mean, they're strong as shit. Maybe like something that's like 10 or 20 years old, maybe so brittle at that point. But, you know, these ones here that are 1 or 2 years old, they're not brittle at all. They still might have moisture in them. I don't know. It's possible.
I'd be more worried about that.
Yeah, Harley says Reaper said he knew he did it wrong afterwards. That still don't mean Reaper was definitely traumatized. OG Foster said. He says, I bet he has PST to this day. He will not go into a tank with a ray in it. I get in there and I'm like, watch, Reap, and I've got like 20 rays in there, and I'm pushing them all around. No problems. Harley Gem says coat the barbs in clear nail polish. Basically, I'm saying she's probably saying that while they're still strong, and that would preserve them more?
I've never tried to work with them, but I've never heard of anybody working with them either. And most things that can make something out of, I've heard of.
David Smith says, do any of the big public aquariums ever ask you guys to grow out monster fish? No, they have. We've got like 12 different public aquariums that we work with, and they give us lists, and they always want the rare stuff. Do you have any albino goonch? Yes, but we're not giving it out. You know what I'm saying? If they ask us for pacu, we got you. We got you covered. You know, you want a Niger cat or a ripsaw cat? We got you covered. You want a red tail? We got you. But no, they don't. They ask for only rare stuff.
They want an adult black diamond stingray.
Right.
I will give you the black diamond as long as you take this pacu and a Niger and a iridescent shark. No, we don't want those. Well, then you can't have the black diamond.
Right. Jumpman says, Big Rich, you taking Michigan over Ohio State tomorrow?
First question.
You know, I'm from Ohio. I got to take Ohio State, as bad as that is. But I know Michigan's going to win. But I'll pick Ohio State, okay? Andy Davis says, what is your favorite kind of dog breed, Rich? I've got two. One, Irish Wolfhound. I had an Irish Wolfhound when I was a kid, and it was the biggest dog I've ever seen in my life. And it was long, and when he'd stand up on his hind legs, his name was Kira. When he'd stand up on his hind legs, he was like, 8 foot tall. He had his arms on the 6 foot fence, and his head was like 2 foot up, looking over, what's up? What's going on over there? Love that dog. Not to mention, they are so loyal, so protective. We got robbed, and we had a guy broke in our house, and Kira went and attacked him and stuff, and got shot. She got shot in her mouth, came out of her jaw, went in her chest, and went out her back. She got shot a second time in her other side of her chest, and still took the guy down. The cops came. Oh, fuck. It's been a long time, and I'm still fucking tearing up over that.
It's a good
She
friend.
died, or he died, and but he protected us. He was on it. So I love an Irish Wolfhound, and then my next love is oversized, big, huge Great Danes. I love them, big galoots. They're just such puppies. They're such play. Big Great Dane. I mean, there's small Great Danes and stuff like that, but a big Great Dane will come up to you and he'll like lick your knee, and then he'll turn around and he'll set his butt on the couch next to you.
Yeah.
And stand on the ground. And you're like, what are you doing? He's like pushing you out of your chair. You're like, what are you doing? But they're so just adorable. They get up on the couch and they try and sit on you, and you're like, you're not a lap dog. What are you doing? Love my Great Danes. Oh shit! It's been 30 years since Kira, and I'm still bringing a tear. That's crazy. Everybody's talking about their big dog breeds.
Yeah, they go all over the place with that. It's just like with the Summer Ray said she'd like to have a bull mastiff. And that really
That's a big
depends
dog.
on which bloodline of bull mastiff
Well,
you
that
get.
and can you deal with
all kinds
figure a Saint Bernard,
yeah.
huge head, huge body. Bull Mastiff is just like that, but they drool so much.
They can.
Your house will smell like drool. All your furniture will be icky. You just, them kind of dogs are great, but they need to be like a sheepdog outside, and they have their own barn that's heated.
Pretty much.
Not an indoor dog. Watch the movie Cujo. That's how much they drool. That's what they are. I don't know, but Maritza Wooden says, Big Rich, in a few weeks, if you're up for us to come back out, would love to come see you again. You know what, Maritza? I'd love to say yes, but let's wait till after Christmas, because with you guys coming last time And then we had what was the last thing we ate for? There was a holiday or some shit.
Oh, I don't remember.
There was Halloween with the candy, and then Maritza and Sue Ann both showed up here.
Yeah, that was a wedding thing. That was the last thing.
I just got back to the weight I was before you guys came, which is 279. I need a few weeks to get down to 275. That's my goal I want to reach. And we've got, Thanksgiving dinner here. So it's going to be at least 3 days after that before I start losing weight again. And then I've only got, 3.5 weeks till Christmas. So Christmas dinner we're going to have. So let me have those.
Riding up on it.
Right. So let me have those 3 weeks so I can lose weight and get down to the 270, 250, 265, something like that. And then after Christmas, come out for New Year's, come out after that, anything. I'm fine with all that. I don't care. I just want to reach my next goal, and then start on the next one. I'd really like you to just show up tomorrow. I mean, you guys are a blast to have here. Oh, God, nice to see you looking after yourself. Thanks, David Smith. Wait, David Smith. Is that eyeliner? That can't be the same person. I haven't heard from eyeliner in forever. Do you remember eyeliner?
No.
I think his name was David Smith. He came out here all the time. He'd come over here, and his wife would, bring dinner and stuff, and we'd do projects around here.
Yeah,
but
you're probably a couple of years ahead of me.
But his eyes looked like he was wearing eyeliner. It was black,
No,
I was like, that's why I named him eyeliner.
I would definitely remember him.
Jenny says, New Year's Eve party at OFR. Well, we had 26 cops here last New Year's Eve party.
Jeez.
OG Foster went from 256 to 222. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I've gone from 340 down to 279, which is 61 pounds. But I'm at this level now for the last 3 weeks because I keep eating and all this stuff going on. Oh yeah, that was Roger. Sue Ann said that was Roger. David Smith was. I remember him. He came out here, and he hung out for a little bit. And then I told Tracy to kiss him on his cheek one time, and she kept getting like a half inch from him. I'm like, just kiss him on his cheek. He deserves it, blah, blah, blah. And she wouldn't do it, And then he came back another time, and I didn't recognize him because he had full beard and mustache, and I didn't even know. I treated him like a new person. I didn't know who it was,
Say, who are you?
Is that the same David Smith? Let me know. Sue Ann was correct. That was Roger. That's eyeliner, is Roger.
Well, I can't afford to be losing any more weight. You guys can have it all
Ross Stingle, you're correct. It was Roger. Jenny says it ain't a proper party till the cops show up.
Yeah, it depends on how they show up.
Well, see, here's the problem. I was downstairs in the basement. We're playing pool. I've got Skylar was here, and Skylar's mother and her father was here, and they're divorced. And so each one of them had a friend with them. And then I had Brock was here with his 4 friends or something like that. And there was a bunch of people downstairs. So we've been downstairs for hours. And all of a sudden, it was 10 minutes before the ball drops. And, that lady Kathy that was here, she comes running down the stairs. She's like, your ass is going to jail. And it was like one of those moments where the record player went, and all music stopped. We all looked at her like, what the fuck? Everybody in the basement. And she's like, you tried beating my ass and you beat my dog. And she runs upstairs. I'm calling the cops. We're all looking at each other like, what the fuck? What just happened? And she fucking called the cops. Said that I tried beating her up, that I punched her in her face, I punched her in her belly, and then I held her by her throat. And then I took her dog outside in the mud. It was pouring down rain. And her little Yorkshire Terrier, and said I was just pounding it into the mud outside. I was trying to kill it. Well, all these cops show up and they separated everybody. They talked to everybody, right? And 99.9% of the people had the same story, except for Kathy. And then, Kathy's like, he punched me in my face. And they're like, well, let me see some scars. And there was no bruising, no blood, no cuts, no nothing. He grabbed me by my throat and they checked her out. There was no marks, no nothing. And he punched me in the belly and they looked for, red marks, anything, nothing, right? Nothing. And then the cop was like, let me see the dog. And Skylar was holding the dog right behind the cop. And she goes, here she is. And Kathy's over there crying, he's trying to kill my dog. Oh, oh, oh. And then the dog gets handed to the cop and she goes, there she is. There's my baby. The dog was dry as can be, no mud on it. And I told the cop, I'm like, look, officer, if this was true and I tried hurting this dog in any way, he'd be scared of me. And I reached out and the dog's like, licking me left and right on my hand. I picked it up and, it's licking me in my face. I'm like, I think she's on a bad medicine trip or something. She's on psych meds. I don't know what happened. Maybe she had a bad dream and woke up and thought this was real. I don't know, but so I did not get arrested that night, right? And the cops are like, well, we're going to take her away to a hotel or something for the night. Are you willing to pay for that? I'm like, are you out your fucking mind? I'm going to pay for someone trying to put me in jail? No, I ain't paying for nothing. Get her out of here. So then the next day, Reaper calls me. He's like, dude, what happened with Kathy? I'm like, what are you talking about? She sent me pictures and there's blood all over. I'm like, what? So he sent me the pictures. I'm like looking, and it looked like she took 4 fingers and scraped her face down through her neck and into her chest. And it was 4 bloody lines, right? I'm like, Reap, if them lines were there, if that blood was there last night while the cops were here, I'd have gone to jail. She did that after the fact to get pity from you. And so, I've got all these pictures of Kathy doing self-harm to herself, trying to blame me for it, when the cops already said, we completed our investigation. There was no bruises. The dog was not hurt. The dog was not muddy. The dog was not wet. She has no scars on her whatsoever. And she tried putting me in jail over that shit. That's why I said no women with psych meds are allowed to live here anymore. Anymore. It was crazy. That's as close as I've ever gone to jail for something I didn't do in my life.
Yeah.
I was worried. There was like a bunch of cops here.
It's crazy. I slept through the whole thing.
Yeah, he never woke up. The cops never even went into his room.
Cops didn't even know I was in the house.
Oh, David Smith says, no, that's not the same one. All right. Sorry. He goes, I'll take the free kisses, though. That's a man. That's a man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour.
I admit to looking like that.
Yeah, Nate remembers Crazy Kathy. Hell yeah.
Oh, I can't move. All right, now.
The Jenny says, dumb bitch.
No, just ill.
Kate Cook says, Yorkshire Terrier, you could hurt it with a look. Yeah, for sure. Jenny says, you answered already. Dry dog, no wounds on her. Nuff said she took some bad stuff, something. And then pay for it. Oh my God, laughing out loud.
Yeah. She's just got some mental health issues.
Big Time says, is that the same Kathy you helped move in? Yeah, she lied to us and said she was a Army nurse. Then once she moved in, she couldn't take care of Tracy because it was too icky, too gross. She couldn't suction out her trach or nothing. And I'm like, thought you said you were an Army nurse. No, my dad was in the Army. You told me you were an Army nurse. So then I let her still stay here, but she was supposed to take care of the plants, help out with that. And, all she did was just smoke all day long, all night long. She never really did anything. So I couldn't wait to. I'm glad she's gone.
Oh,
Kate Cook says, always take pics, people, for sure. David Smith says, what a psycho. That's nuts. That's awful. Glad she's gone. Oh, yeah, for sure. Camel Dan says, before the rescue started, what was the biggest fish tank you had? I had a 300-gallon in the house, and I had a 1,000-gallon out in the, I had a second garage that I made a fish room. I had a 1,000-gallon tank out there, and I thought that was my to die ever biggest tank I'll ever get. And then I had I think it was a 2,000-gallon pool in the middle of the garage, and I had the dog bone beside it, and I had two other little 600-gallon tanks on each side of the 1,000. And that was my fish room. Wolf Scream says, I love Big Rich's stories.
actually,
They're fucking crazy.
that's a top fish room for just about anybody in the house.
Right. Oh, you've never seen it. I should show you pictures of that. It was an impressive
I've
garage.
seen a few
Did you?
pictures of the old garage, yeah.
Okay. Some of these, the old schoolers remember Tracy, or I said Tracy, Kathy.
Yeah.
Joanna Nellis says, have a fantastic day tomorrow. I'm off to get ready for the grandkids. What was I going to tell Joanna Nellis? Remember I told you first I was going to tell her this? Something about, I was going to tell her something. You're more than welcome to do this. Oh, I'm so close to remembering it.
And they reminded me of nothing, so.
It was right before the live stream started. Here, I can go back to the very beginning of this,
Oh, no.
and I'll be able to see it. There, I'm at the beginning. Let me go to Joanna Nellis. There's her band here in Australia. I think Jerry needs to go to bed. Okay.
I can't find her again.
I'm not seeing it.
Unless
No.
was back before that. Well,
Yeah, this is not at the beginning. I didn't go all the way back to the beginning. Joanna, what were you saying at the beginning, right before the rescue or the live stream started?
I don't remember. We're talking about donations. I don't remember what we were talking about.
I was like, I'm going to tell her it's okay. Go ahead and do this, you know. That I give her permission. That don't ring a bell to you?
Now, usually that has to do with using the logo or, oh, you're going to send somebody some stingray barbs.
That's
Is
a
that
different
it?
person. No, that was way
Okay,
before that.
I don't know. I mean, that wasn't at the beginning, but don't remind us. Actually, it's after 8 o'clock, so you have to remind us pretty soon.
Yeah, we are actually into overtime. I guess she already logged off because I don't see her answering us.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people saying, Tyler, got to drink up, people.
Yeah, sorry. Tyler, right back with you.
I can't see for shit. I think my glasses fogged up or something. Let me wipe them. Oh my God, if I had to do live stream like this, I couldn't do it. I can't read a single thing on that screen, Jerry. I couldn't do it.
Bad.
I'd be like, what are they saying? What are they saying now? Yes, that would be me.
Suad's telling me to go get the food and put it in the kitchen.
Did you send food? I didn't see nothing at the door. So
It's frozen now, if it is.
Ring doorbell.
And buried.
Front door.
I think she just wants to see us look.
Dude, somebody dropped off something at 7:33. If you want to talk, I'll go get it.
I don't know. Maybe I better.
So Sue Ann doesn't have my front doorbell. She did send food. See, I was right.
You got it, Sue Ann. The nurse just happened to have good timing. Two a.m. in Central Europe. Okay. Anyway, Cal dance. I told ya. He said he heard the bell. Suad's hooking us up.
No, there was no food there.
No?
No, there was nothing there, Jerry.
What's in your hand?
Sue Ann,
It's frozen.
you don't have to do that. Please don't. You know, you're amazing. But yeah, it's a little cold now.
Oh, rerouted yet.
Oh, it got rerouted? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And then they left it in the thing and they didn't ring the doorbell. I didn't get no doorbell notification or nothing from Ring Doorbell. That's crazy. Thank you, Sue Ann. You are a sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Sue Ann says, can you at least go get the food and put it in the kitchen? So I was right that whole time.
Well, they're not completely cold.
No?
No, they're almost
Cool.
warm. So I hadn't been out there too long. It did say it's rerouted. One's a sausage
Oh,
and the other's a
she
steak.
said, Rich, yours has no bread. So you just got to look for one with no bread.
That's the skinniest one.
It has bread on it.
Well, damn. They both got
They both
bread.
got bread.
Yours is sausage and mine's steak. That's a steak.
Well, what's this one?
That's a steak also. It says on the receipt, it says right there.
Thank you, Sue Ann. I appreciate it. I know, I
One
feel,
regular sausage and one regular steak.
yeah.
Thanks anyway, Suad. I was going to take the steak anyhow. Oh, it smells good. So that onion bread or whatever.
I mean, what's this red stuff right there?
That's got sausage in it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's got sausage in it. Well, so
I
does
feel
this
loved and cared for, Sue Ann. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
one. No, this one doesn't have any.
Doesn't have
So
what?
it doesn't have the red stuff.
Okay. I don't know what the red stuff is.
Sausage of some kind, obviously.
Sue Ann says, okay, then one at least has no cheese. Is there no cheese on one of these? I don't want to touch them, so. I see no
There's
cheese.
No cheese on that one.
Okay.
Dum-dum-dum. So what's the munchy word?
See how happy that motherfucker gets when food comes around? You see how happy he is? I was in my bedroom yesterday and Jerry goes to the door and gets a package and he starts opening it up and I hear, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I'm like, what? And he gets a care package from his kids and it's got like, you know, summer sausage and cheese and all this. He was doing the Irish jig in the kitchen. He was happy. Thank you, Sue Ann. I appreciate it so much. You didn't have to do that. And I feel bad every time, you know. I mean, I'm not starving over here, girl.
Now,
Oh, Marissa says Sue Ann must be approachable today. We still got to get that t-shirt. Sue Ann was so hungover the next day, and Maritza comes out there and she hugs her good morning. And Sue Ann's laying on the table like this. She's like, I'm not approachable right now. She put her head back down, and Sue Ann goes, "But I love you." And Sue Ann goes, "When you're done loving me, can you just leave me alone?" It was hilarious. I got to get a T-shirt of that. I have to.
Not very approachable right now.
That's what she said. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, Camel Dan says, I forgot to mention, I got some bad news. Tuesday, I start a new job on second shift. This will be my last Fish Friday for a while. Well, you can still watch them after the fact. You just won't be able to.
You can't interact
answer.
with
Yeah,
us
you can't
on
interact.
live. That's all. It depends on what your job is, man. You can always stop in for a minute and say, "Hey, you know."
Oh, Sue Ann says it was 2 a.m. and I was asleep. I thought it was the next morning. Either way, the answer was amazing. What I heard needs to go on a T-shirt. I'm not approachable right now. I gotta make a T-shirt of it. Sean says Sue Ann's man better put a ring on it. Well, you know what? They are married already. They were getting remarried here. And Maritza says, and I tried to lay on her. It was a good night. All right, I'm done with my second cup. I'm on my third now.
And I'm on my first half of my sandwich. That sounds good, Cameron Dan.
He says he's a custodial for the local school system. I can drop in now and then.
Good deal.
Okay, Coke says pre-made drinks, a man of culture. Well, every Friday I allow myself 3 drinks. 1, 2, and 3. So that I don't get drunk like I used to and be looking for like toilet paper rolls and trying to drink out of that. I can't be like that. You know, I want to be in control. So I used to do 3 fingers of vodka and then my grape crush and then filled up the water. Now I'm only doing a finger and a half so that I can just catch a slight buzz and I'm good to go tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Them getting drunk like that, my next day was just wasted. Oh, that's what she said. Marissa says, the funniest part was when she said, well, when you're done loving me, can you turn the light off? Manny David says, we love you, Jerry and Rich. Have a lovely day on Thanksgiving. Well,
thank you much.
It was a nice, quiet day on actual Thanksgiving. Oh, that's what I was going to tell Joanna Nellis. You can, every year, you can have, because she said, we don't have Thanksgiving in Australia. I was like, I'm going to give you Thanksgiving. You tell your kids they have to show up every year on a certain date, and you cook all their favorite foods and have them bring dishes, and you can have Thanksgiving. I'm giving you permission from America. You can have Thanksgiving once a year, and it's more of a family day than it is for anything because, you know, they weren't here, 200 years ago when, the Pilgrims were having Thanksgiving with the Indians and all that kind of stuff, and it's our, whatever, but you can still have that day with your family. That's what I was going to give her permission for. We give you permission from the United States.
Well, just
have
about
your
every
day.
country has their Independence Day type thing or rescue. Not everybody has a Thanksgiving, but
Oh, guys, we also got some more news. You remember, not King Kong, turtle's name?
Godzilla.
Godzilla. Remember Godzilla? He was in the 3000 tank with all the Pacu all this time. We took him out of the back tub by the back door because it was so cold back there that it was hard to keep warm for him. And we put him into the 3000 with the Pacu that are in there now. Jerry went out yesterday and he had managed to get up over the edge and he fell that 4 foot and hit the ground. he cracked his shell by his tail, and now Josh has him dry docked with medicine, and he's in a tub with a damp rag, and he's in a tub healing up now. He did not die, but he did crack his shell, and we're going to have to take at least a week to get the shell to heal back up before he can go back in the water. And we're doing this every day, taking care of him. It was yesterday it happened, or actually it happened the night before. Jerry found it yesterday morning. So all day yesterday, and then all night tonight, and then all day today, all night last night, all day today, he's been in dry dock, and his shell is already starting to heal. There was some blood on the floor, and he went over where he used to be into the 3,000 gallon tank where the 4,000 is now. He jumped over where the window goes, and he was in the back corner. He went back home where he was used to.
It was crazy.
So yeah, he's not dying. He's doing good, and he's healing. But it is something that happened. And the weird part is Jerry called it because the water's like 4 inches from the top. He goes, I think that turtle can grab on and get out. I'm like, nah, we're good. He's been in that 3,000 gallon tank forever, and now he's in this new 3,000 gallon tank. He'll be fine. Jerry was right. He cracked his shell. He fell and cracked his dome.
I wish I wasn't. I really hurt this morning.
Nate says, if you can heal Hubert, Godzilla will be fine. Yeah, he's going to be fine. It's just a matter of time at this moment, at this point, because, he did get a crack in his shell, which is bad for a turtle. You got to make sure it's not getting infected. But Josh put medicine down in there and then washed it all off with other medicine that kills all germs and stuff like that. So he's good. And then Josh is going to come over daily and reapply the medicine until his shell closes up and the crack ain't there. Then we can put him back in the water and he'll continue to heal.
You know why he's called Godzilla, don't you? Because he can do a massive amount of damage in a very short period of time.
Yes.
They got me today just turning him over.
Yeah, he'd gotten in the the tub and he tried to get out and he flipped over upside down. So Jerry reached in to try and put him back over and he clawed the shit out of him.
It's fair. He doesn't know my
Camel Dan says, I once saw a turtle climbing a chain link fence. Holy shit.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Tyler says, that's why I love OFR, because you catch everything as soon as it happens and not too late, and you know what to do when it happens. Listen, every time you guys say what to do.
Hey, I had no idea what to do when I found Godzilla this morning. Other than almost cry. And then I found him in his favorite corner.
Right. Sue-Ann says,
wooden tank in there.
Sue-Ann says, hey, Rich, can you sing Godzilla for us? And then she wants to put on there, I just bought you food. Do what I ask. Otherwise, you're going to feel bad. I can't sing Godzilla. All I can do is sing the Tokyo part in the middle, the what do you want to call it? The Japanese singing in the middle, because no one in my band wanted to do it. So,
we'll send you a copy of him playing what little bit he knows of it, and you can record it.
I can play the whole song. I sang the Japanese part in the middle because the singer didn't want to do it. Nobody else wanted to do it. So I sat at home and, I'm like, it was cassette time at that time. I'm rewind, play. And in the middle, it goes Godzilla, Zilla, Zilla, Zilla. And then it comes in with, Reggie knows how Shakamus. Reggie knows how Shakamus. Godzilla got King so homie who got us. Raishku He-Man Snake on the side. Raishku He-Man Snake on the side. Now, I recently looked that up, and it was a whole story about, this Lizard King is destroying the city and, blah, 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 and this and that. I never knew what I was saying. I just copied what the Japanese was saying. So that was my point. And in the middle of, down, down, I'm on the background. I'm not the lead guitarist, and the Ralph was. I'm not the singer, but I had my point when I walk up forward and they all walked away from the mic and I took over, That was my part. That was what I had to say.
It didn't mean nothing.
Well, it meant something. I just didn't know what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Kate Cook says, now I want to hear your band.
Uh,
Well, you know what? I have a bunch of it, and I've been meaning to hook up to the computer, the guitar, and all this, so I can play along with some songs and blah blah blah. So I mean, I've been meaning to, but I have songs from the next band I was in that I really want you guys to hear. You've heard them in my videos. I've used it as background music because, you know, if you use, like, let's say Blue Oyster Cult's music, you get a knock on TikTok or a knock on, you know, YouTube for using licensed material. My music was never licensed, so I can use all my band music all I want, you know. So I was doing that for a while. Joe Clem says, "Oh, a rock star moment." See, and Tyler Kurtz says, "Go Go Godzilla." Now that actually changed. It was, you know, what was that part? Oh no, Godzilla, and then the second part was Go Go Godzilla, and it went back to Oh no, Godzilla. Maritza says, "All your fans want to hear you play." Did I play for you guys when you were here at all? Oh, Maritza says he's good live. I've heard him. Okay, I did play, I guess. Well, you know, Sue Ann, Steve, Maritza, and Ricky, they all got me drunk. So I pick up a guitar. Yes, sir. I hear a voice from the distance. It goes, Blue Oyster Cult. OG Foster says it doesn't work on a live stream because I brought in my little amp and it's louder than my voice. So the mics were pegging out and it sounded just distorted and nasty and it wasn't good. So I need to find a way to plug my guitar into the computer and then have a online amp system, you know, like an app to give me some distortion and all this, and I can play along with the song, and you know, that's it.
oh, that was sneaky.
What?
There was a piece of pepperoni in the end of my. I wasn't expecting pepperoni in my steak sandwich.
Uh-oh. Marissa says, don't forget about the beef stew in a cup. Inside joke? I don't know what that means.
Inside joke, I guess.
Somebody put on some Instagrams to Ohio Fish Rescue. Let me check on one and see what it is. Oh, it wants me to log in. I can't log in from this fucking computer. I can do it from my phone probably because I'm already logged in there. All right, let me go to YouTube.
Somebody understands what a squelch button is.
All right, now let me go to my page. Let me go to view channel. Live. Okay, hook up to live right now. Why is it not letting me go there?
I have no idea.
What is all this over here on this thing?
Probably because it's feeding from you.
Could be coming from my phone because there's like 20 pages open now. Okay, there's the 2 pages we needed. Now we're back on YouTube. All right. Oh, let me turn off. No Bluetooth's on.
Excuse me, folks.
I want to play this. Let me next cue. There we go. I don't want to activate premium. I want to play this live. Oh, you know what? I may have to manage and go to lives here. because it hasn't been finished yet. Yeah, it's not even on
Somebody
here.
says it's a link to your socials.
All right. Is that what it is?
Again, that's what somebody says it is.
All right. So I'm going to Ohio Fish. Here we go. Now I'm clicking on that. Now I'm on here. All right. Search here.
Oh, the beef stew in the cup is you. I haven't forgot about that one myself.
I can't get to it.
You ate all the meat out of it, and all there was potatoes and carrots in the cup?
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay. That's why.
All right. Somebody says it's the link to your socials. Thank you. Suann says potatoes and carrots in a cup. Maritza says, Suann, do you remember the beef stew in a cup? When he woke up, it was so funny. Oh yeah, I had a cup of just carrots and potatoes next to my bed.
Yeah.
I only ate the meat. I was drunk and still stayed on my diet.
That's what I was saying.
Oh yeah, Rick says, Big Rich, I remember you saying, I'll lift him up, just pull it out from underneath him. I remember that. Marissa says she had too much fun. We do have fun here. We have a lot of fun. But, you know, there's a lot of work, you know, like I just worked 32 hours, got 6 hours sleep, and then I had to work 16 hours. Actually, not 16 hours because I'm not working till 11. Probably about 13 hours, 12 hours because we had a Beatrice show up here, which I did not expect at all.
Nice.
How much did Brutus weigh? 67 pounds. He was 73 inches. He was a little bit over 6 foot.
The Pacu weighed as much as...
Oh, no, he wasn't 73 pounds. That was the 4 foot catfish. Brutus was so big, me and Josh had problems carrying him out.
I was going to say, he was heavier than those Pacu, and those Pacu were heavier than that.
Well, the Pacu was 61 pounds, the biggest one. And now Brutus, I think he was like, I don't remember, 180, something like that. He was heavy.
He was heavy.
Yeah. I was wrong about that. I'm sorry, guys.
Much dead weight, water weight. Speaking of fish, though, I really need to go take care of my cruise.
Well, thank you for staying. It's 8:28. That's 28 minutes longer than you usually stay.
Thanks again, Sue-Ann. I'm going to put the other half of this away for breakfast in the morning. Oh, we got tomorrow's
Watch
feed.
this. Well, you only ate half. You don't need this half. Told you, watch this. This motherfucker loves his food. I was going to pull back a nub.
I don't have my shield in my hand. I swung back to catch him with the edge of the shield.
Where did you bury Brutus? In the backyard. That was from Max Payne. Svan says, Marissa, next time let us know you're bringing your son, and maybe we could bring our grandchildren. Of course. Harley Jim says, thanks, Jerry. Thanks for all you do. Have a fishy week. And for God's sake, give Richie the other half of your sandwich. That's what she said. She said, for God's sake, give Richie the other half of your sandwich.
No, she didn't.
He ain't giving that sandwich up for nothing. He ain't giving it up for nothing. I'm lucky I get my sandwich. Yeah, Sue-Ann brought her kids here before, and they helped us out, and they had fun while they were here.
Oh, yeah.
Camel dancer, diet, Rich, diet. I'll eat the meat off of that. I won't eat the bread. We're good. I'm not drunk. Got a slight buzz.
There's some napkins to go with it.
Well, take your garbage with you.
It's a garbage too.
That's your garbage, son. Yeah. I clean up after myself. I cooked. Look, I bought all the food today, and then I cooked all the food, and then I cleaned all the dishes, and then I cooked more food.
Just so he could say he did.
Right.
Gotta
Exactly.
rub it in.
Gotta rub it in.
Gotta have some goods.
But tomorrow you're gonna have. Oh, we made deviled eggs this time, and I made like 60 of them. So the last tray we use as tasters, right? And my deviled eggs are great anyway. But I bought smoked paprika this time, so I did half of the tray was smoked and half of the tray was regular. And I gave Jerry a regular, and he's oh, that's a good egg. And I was like, try this one. And then it had smoked paprika, and he liked it better. So I did the same thing with DJ and Steph. They like the smoked paprika better. So I used smoked paprika on the rest of the eggs that are for tomorrow.
You guys, I'm a professional taste tester. Get your hands slapped if you don't let me taste it.
Professional mooch, same thing. OG Foster says something doesn't work on the live stream. What is that? Oh, probably talking about the guitar I brought in with the little speaker.
Yeah, I definitely don't want.
Yeah, I got to plug into the computer, and then I got to get an app that has like distortion, reverb, all that kind of stuff, and then play through that, and then it'll sound good to you guys.
Well, stay fishy, all my fishy friends. Travel well.
So Ann says I had to arm wrestle that son of a bitch to get him to drink with us. I don't know who she's referring to. Oh, Summer Lee says, thank you, Brittany Zillis, for giving us the idea. I don't know what that is, but it means Brittany's here. Hi, Brittany. Yeah, I woke up from a stupor, and I'm like, why is there a cup full of taters and carrots? To me, I thought that was crazy. I didn't even remember eating the meat out of the beef stew. He says, I think Tyler wants to deal with his kids. Sue Ann says, did you use mayo or Miracle Whip? I do not use Miracle Whip for the eggs. It's always Hellman's. And then I had to do mustard, and I had to do a little bit of sugar, and then also white wine vinegar. That brightens it up and makes the eggs taste so much better. So let me think. On 32 eggs, it was 1 cup of Hellman's. It was 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of mustard. It was, what else did I add in there? Oh, the white wine vinegar was 1 tablespoon. I don't remember what else went in it. I don't remember right now. Camel Dan says, where are you going to put all the paddlefish when they get too big for the current tank? Well, some are going into the pond. That's the plan. And others are going out to the outdoor pond, but not till next summer. So we're going to have to move, a lot of them to like the 2200 where the Pima are now. When they come out and go into either the 4400 or the pool, then the paddlefish can go into the 2200 for the winter. Yeah, Hellman's is great for everything you want to cook. Miracle Whip is great for like egg salad sandwiches and type stuff like that. It's got a tang to it. Oh, Sam, you put paprika on them once they were done? Yes. After you're all done, then you put the paprika on top. But, you know, I tried, I think it was 10 eggs with regular paprika and then 15 with smoked paprika. And then I let everybody taste them. They all agreed the smoked paprika is better. So I put smoked paprika on all the rest of the eggs for tomorrow. And again, Suanne, thank you for the food. I appreciate you. You make me feel loved, but, you know, I'm really trying not to eat. And, you know, basically, fuck Jerry. No, I'm kidding. Jerry needs, he deserves a treat here and there. You know, he does work around here very hard. Marissa says, so is your roommate still there? Yes. Even though my son came in, and because he came over with his granddaughter, and usually he lets her run around the house with me, and I do, you know, activities with her. We paint these like clear acrylic things that I hang on my sliding glass door that opens up, and, you know, then she does like these ceramic pots and stuff. I can put my keys in, that type of stuff, and, you know, we always do that. But he told me last week that he will not allow her to be here no more because he came into the house and it smelled like weed so bad. And it was, you know, from the living room and then the hallway here. And I was like, I don't smell that at all. And I got up from the kitchen. I walked in here. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, it does. So, you know, from them going out back and smoking weed with everybody out there, and, you know, it's always skunky, and it's always, you know, wrapped in a cigar wrapper. So it's blunt, you know. And the smell is so dank. It's just so thick. And, you know, I understand why he won't let the grandkids over here no more because of that smell. So I told them they had to go. And I've also been looking for like a camper or a RV, you know, under $1,000 that doesn't leak, so I can park in the backyard and they can stay there. And then we don't have to worry about it. You know, my grandkids can still be in my house, you know. Camel Dan says, Rich, have you ever thought about a cooking channel maybe once a month? I was cooking all day today, and I'm like, Jerry, I should be recording all this, you know, and telling them why I'm using this and why I don't use that and why this tastes better like this and all that stuff. And I just don't have anybody to, while I'm cooking, you know, I'm cooking feverishly. You know, I got this over here. I'm cleaning this. I'm putting this on the oven and turning this timer on. I'm doing this here. I'm mixing this here. I mean, I'm like a cyclone in the kitchen. And I need somebody else to video for me. I don't have time to set it up. Let's get this shot. You know, I don't have that time in my life. So I do need. Maritza says, who's paying for the camper? I will buy one if it's like $1,000 or less and set it back there and then run, you know, the air that comes out of that big fan. If I can run like a 1-foot hose, bend it sideways and run it over to the camper, they can leave the window on the far side open and it'll always be 67, 68 degrees in there because that's the temperature of the fish room that it's venting out, you know. The water is 80, 84, and then the room, you know, down in the middle depths of winter is still 67, 68 degrees going out. Well, they can live in that, and I don't have to worry about, you know, no other bills or anything like that. And, you know, that would be good. It would help them out. You know, I'm willing to do that because I can always sell the camper for more than $1,000, you know. I know, Camel Dan, I know. Marissa says, your heart is too big. They are nice, but you can't do everything for everybody. You know, but, you know, if you try and help everybody, you can at least think to yourself that you're a good person, you know. That's I don't know. You know, I tried with Skylar for, you know, 2 years she was here. And, you know, I ended up telling her, if you can't treat me any nicer, you're going to have to move. And instead of stopping what she's doing and treating me nicer, she called her dad and moved out. I'm like, wow, wow. You know, I'm not trying to. What's up? No, I've got my drink right here. I'm not trying to, enforce any rules or try and control you, but you can't be here and treat me like shit. You have to be nice or move out. And she chose to move out. So, that was on her, Dominic says, Rich, you don't seem to spend much time with the African cichlids in the Bellagio tank no more. I do, but I don't record everything. Like if I'm cleaning the tank or cleaning the top or hooking up their food and pouring all these separate bags of food into their containers, I don't record any of that. I don't know. Camel Dan says, you went over and above and beyond for them. Harley Gem says, I get that helping thing. Camel Dan says, you take care of your wife. You run a rescue. You don't need other people's BS. Well, Deb Charge says, just be sure you're helping good people. Andy Davis says, you are amazing, Rich, and down to earth. Great sense of humor. Well, thank you, because a lot of people say my sense of humor is off pitch. I try and laugh and make fun of everything, like okay, if Skylar was here and I know she don't like this or that, I'd been like, yo, bitch, where's my sandwich? And she'd look at me and I'm kidding. I try and make humorous out of every situation, you know what I'm saying? And some people take it seriously. And, I was told online, your sense of humor sucks. You should fucking treat people nicer. I treat people so nice all the time. They see me joking with them, I walk outside and I'm like, oh shit, you moved all that? No, I didn't want that moved. I wanted this moved over here. And they look at me like, oh, and I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. And they're like, you treat your community service people like shit. Dude, I do not. They all come back. They all love it here. It's a good time. Marissa says, you're a great person and they are very kind. Glad they have a great friend like you. And they're like, aw, thank you. Kate Cook says, the universe sees all the good. Trust me. Aw, thank you. Camel Dan says, Beefcake Bob is absolutely fucking hilarious. I thought so. I mean, who else would call him Beefcake? You know what I'm saying? Thought it was great. Shirley Jim says, start recording those daily mundane things for a video once in a while. We will watch with a smile. Thank you. Sue Ann says, I love it when you tell me what to do. Laughing my ass off. No, you don't. We all know you're the man in the relationship, Sue Ann. Stop it. I'm kidding, people. Stop it. Deb Charge, don't get mad at me. Harley says, I just think some people don't get your sense of humor. Vasquez family says, it's because you grew up on your own. Now you look at you, homeowner, good father, grandfather, and you want to help because how hard it was when nobody helped me. Dude, I had nobody. My dad threw me out at 15, and I had nobody to co-sign a house, co-sign a car, buy a car, even buy me a bicycle. He threw me out at 15, and that was it. It was the last I talked to him for like 20 years. Now we have a relationship, but he did come over here, and this melts my heart. He came over here with his grandson, my younger brother's kid, Dalton, and he had like a Yamaha 200 Blaster, and he's like, I can't get this thing running. Can you think you can do something with it? And me and Josh, we lifted it off the truck, we set it down, we put it in the garage, we took off the head. Oh shit, look at this. I can see the head. Here's the jug, and the head's on crooked as shit. You can see a gap on this side. Of course it'll never run. It's never making compression. So I unbolted all the bolts, and I went down. I'm like, dude, not only that, I've taught Dalton. I'm like, you have to go around evenly. Put them all down finger tight all the way around. Then you go around and put one crank, whatever. and then you do a star pattern like a car tire, and you tighten it down to specs. What are specs? Look it up on the internet. It's like 72 foot-pounds or 26 foot-pounds, whatever it was. Then you do that, and you know it's flat. You tighten down these two, all they're tight, and they're holding up the other side of the head. I swear to God, we got done fixing it. We brought it off the lift and set it down, and Dalton started it. It started first try, and he went tearing up the streets. He was the happiest kid ever. I've got my four-wheeler, it runs. You know, my dad was like, and my dad was so impressed. He's like, you and your son worked together fixing that, and then you guys put the tools away. I'm like, well, yeah, we put tools away. You know, I have a thing, you know, if you want a crescent wrench or pliers, you know where it's at because it's in this drawer in that spot. We always put tools away. He's like, I am so damn impressed. You damn kids never put no tools away. I was like, because you locked your garage and you wouldn't let us have them. So we'd break into the garage to get the tools. We're not going to break back in to put them back. You know, we went riding. And you'd come home and catch us. I mean, it was just, I don't know. It was a different way I grew up that, you know, I worked with my kids. My kids were my best friends all my life, you know. Marissa says he's a very kind person, Big Rich, and love Big Rich, and no, he never treats anyone bad. I don't try to, but if I catch someone like stealing from me or treating me bad, I will stand up for myself, you know. And that's the whole Skylar thing. I stood up for myself. I'm like, look, you can't be here. I've asked you 100 times to treat me nicer. You can't be in my home expecting me to give you a place to live if you're treating me like shit. You know, it's you either have to treat me nicer or move out. And she chose to move out, you know. So then she went back to her mother's, and, you know, everything was fine for like a year. And then, you know, she was hanging around all the time and this and that. And then I told her, I'm like, look, I can't take it no more. You can't treat me like shit and keep coming around here. You know, I'm going to have to eliminate you from my life, because if I keep letting you come here, you're going to keep treating me like shit. I'm enabling you to treat me like shit. And that was fine. So she didn't talk to me for a couple months. You know, now she's talking to me, she's being nice to me and stuff like that. But, you know, it was like I had to stand up for myself, and I don't like doing that. Hang on a second, I'm hearing Tracy going off. Okay. That's just the nurse. Can you please hit that machine off, please? Okay, Cook says, your home is your castle. Tools away always. Of course. Maritza and Camel Dan brought up the whole WKRP in Cincinnati turkey drop. Les Nessman was giving out free turkeys to everybody. And his idea was to bring them in a helicopter and drop them to people. He didn't know turkeys didn't fly. So every single Thanksgiving, you get to watch the Les Nessman WKRP in Cincinnati turkey drop. And he's like, oh, the humanity. And they're hitting car windows and splatting. This is back in the 70s. It was the funniest fucking shit on TV. Holy shit. Oh my God. I watch it every year. I just watched it like 2 days ago too. It was great. It was great. Turkeys don't fly, Les. All right. Kate Cook says, your home is your castle. Manny Davis says, Rich, you are the master of your own home and who you invite over to stay. Yeah, but I invite a lot of people that shouldn't stay. That's my fault. I have faith in everybody until they prove me wrong. And then there's the problem. You prove me wrong after you're here a month or two or whatever, and and yeah, I find out you're a piece of shit, or you're going to put me in jail because of your psych meds, or you had a dream or some shit. And you're trying to put me in jail. You know, I gave you a free place to live. What the hell? You know, it's crazy. Camel Dan says, how big was that gar shown in today's video? Which gar is that? The albino one with the piebald spots on it? The completely white albino or platinum one? Or the dark one that was shorter? I don't know which one you're referring to. Yeah, that's not sausage. That's steak. Yes. The one with the spots in the marzipan. He is about 40 inches long. He is an albino with the red eyes, but he has a piebald morph to him. So all the black spots on him. So he's like a yellow reddish with black spots. He's an amazing, amazing creature. Yeah, this has no cheese either. So I don't know which one Jerry got. He is gorgeous. Somebody says, my favorite gar in the marzipan is a chunky monkey. Manny Davis says, Rich, thank you for the live stream you do every Friday night. You make our night. You make my night. I get to hang out with my friends, people that care, people that you know, love being here. I love it. I think Jerry said he got a piece of pepperoni. So he may have had that one. This one seems spicy and hot. No cheese, though. Ah. All right. Any more questions? I get bored. You're going to make me leave. Start asking some questions. We got over 100 people left here. So I said both are the same, but one was supposed to be no bun and no cheese. Yeah. There's no cheese, but there's still a bun. Here. Bun. Tastes great, though. Amazing. Somebody says, has the new arapaima come in yet? I don't know what you're referring to because we've got 40-inch arapaima in the 4400 getting ready to come into the pool. And then we've got 5 of the 24 to 30-inch arapaima in the 2200 getting ready to go into the pool. So I don't know which one you're referring to. Kate Cook says, got any views on filterless tanks? I don't have much room. I don't mind loads of plants. It seems kind of cool. Dude, I love them. I have my 150 up front. I do a water change like once every 6 months. It's amazing. I love it. I'd love to have all my tanks set up like that. But with the bigger fish, you know, they swat their tail and the plants get uprooted and float. So you can't really have them in with them. But, you know, all of my smaller tanks with plants in them, I love it. You don't really have to do that many water changes. The more plants you get, the better off it is. Okay. Summerly says Josh said there's another arapaima coming in that's about the same size as the 4400. I did not hear this one. So we got 5, 6. We'll have 7 then. That's fine. Camel Dan says, is it true? Is it illegal to own Asian arowana in America? Yes, this is very true. Okay, K Cook says, yeah, it sounds cool. I love plants too. I might go for it. I get it with large ecosystems though. You know what? Get a big tank, fill it up with plants, get a bunch of small fish at first, and let them live in there, making waste and feeding the plants and all this kind of stuff. And then add in more fish and then more fish and then more fish, and your plants will grow more and more and more. If you add in like 10, 20-inch fish, yeah, it's not going to go well. You got to build it up. Chaz Free Show says, has there been any discussion on the potential extension to the fish room? Well, every time winter comes around, pretty much all outside future projects stop. It's cold. I didn't get to it this winter. I also didn't get to build my barn. I wanted to build the barn this year. I didn't get to it. I also wanted to build the playground for the grandkids. I didn't get to that either. We've been doing so much. And David says, we love you, Rich, for what you do. Always make me smile all the time. Aw, thank you. MK Cichlid says, same with all species of channa or snakehead. Yeah, we're not allowed to have snakeheads here either. And that's hard to me because there are so many beautiful, beautiful channa fish. Jay Cook says, have you ever had octopus? Yes, we did. They seemed cool, but a lot of effort and real passion. Yeah, they're escape artists, and you have to actually like tape up your tank. You can't have any little opening because they can just shrink down to get through that opening for no problem. And then you've got a dead octopus, so it's not cool. But yeah, we had one. We've had jellyfish tanks. We had a bunch of different salt tanks. Now what we do is we keep 180 and a 220 running in salt water to hold fish. Like if we get any salt water, anything, it'll be able to hold it for a day or 2 or 3 until we can find it a home. And we've got a list of like 10 different saltwater people that we, donate the fish to. Oh, Suen, that's horrid. Have you ever had an octopus? They seem cool, but a lot of effort. Suen goes, I did once. It was too chewy. Oh my God. Wow. All right, guys. It's what, 9 o'clock? I'm getting out of here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I had a blast. Appreciate it. Camel Dan says, Rich, I have an idea. Maybe you could talk to Sam Scales, see if he can donate a picture and we auction it off at OFR. Yeah, that's great. He'll do it. Ronaldo said, did you get the taillight fixed in the van? I went out there and started it. It works fine. I don't know what the problem Reaper had with it. It was great. It works good. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging with me. It's been a blast. And my third cup's almost empty. I got to stop. Yeah. Ah, oh, that's good. All right. Love y'all. You take care, and I'll see you next Friday.